right, another great podcast today.
everyone, and welcome to another stream! How's everyone doing? Hope you're doing well. Oh boy, I just got done watching the Doctor Who season finale. I'm not gonna spoil anything for anyone who still hasn't seen it yet. I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the season finale of Doctor Who came out, and it was one of the worst pieces of television I've ever seen in my life. Doctor Who is my favorite show of all time, and unironically, it was one of the most self-indulgent, jerk-off, fucking come-in-your-own-mouth, like, full-of-yourself pieces of television I've ever seen. Fire Russell T. Davies. I'm done. I'm fucking done. Just crap. Just crap. Alright, anyway, and you got, again, like, you guys know, I'm not some, like, chud on the internet that's like, oh, I don't like that the Doctor's Castaway, look at all my Doctor Who shit! I am the biggest goddamn fan of Doctor Who in the world, and oh man, I just think Russell T. Davies need to be fired from a cannon into the sun. Anyway, I won't get a bunch into it, again, I don't want to spoil. Well, holy shit, man, what is he fucking doing? He used to be able to write semi-competently, but it's like all he knows how to... I can't get it, I can't talk about it. Anyway, I was not a fan of it. Moving on. So, today's fun. I don't know if you guys remember a while back, I did the video on USA Medbeds. Sean Callahan is the founder and CEO of USA Medbeds, the people that were selling, where's my stupid fucking hair dryer that he is around here somewhere. There it is. If you don't remember, his company is like selling people these drop-shipped hair dryers, or rather, they function like a hair dryer. They are sometimes marketed as like a pain relief heat gun, but it functions exactly the same as a hair dryer. It's functionally a hair dryer. Anyway, he sells these as if they're like real healing devices. And remember, his channel and everything was called USA Medbeds. And then I did a video all about how it's a scam, and I showed you this device and all the other bullshit. And wouldn't you know it, Sean apparently saw that video, because, oh boy, he changed the name of his YouTube channel from USA Medbeds to Medbed Anti-Aging and Spiritual Wellness. Isn't that funny? It's almost like I fucked up his SEO, and now when you search his shit, my thing comes out, calling him out on his scam. And you know what, Sean? I smell blood in the water, Sean. Sean, I smell blood in the water. Appropriately for the outfit. So, let's fuck up this SEO. If you're on YouTube, do me a favor and like this video. Every time he changes the name of his scam company, I'm going to be doing a stream destroying his SEO. Because he is a scammer peddling snake oil to desperate people. So if you'd like to hurt Sean, and by that I mean if you'd like to hurt his scam, not him personally, he's a human being, I just wish he wouldn't hurt other people, then like the stream. I'd appreciate it. Give a thumbs up to the stream, even if you're the kind of person that normally doesn't. I'm not even doing this for my own vanity today, not at all. I don't give a shit if this brings me a single new viewer or subscriber. This is purely to get the word out that this Sean fella behind USA Medbeds is a snake oil salesman and deserves to have his business not only fail, but ruin him. So, that's the vibe today. Very exciting. Very, very happy for that. Let's see what else I missed in chat, if anything. Everyone on YouTube, like I said, do me a favor, like the stream. We are on a hype train, 68% to level 1 on the hype train. Lady Ann, thanks for a 5-stream streak, says, I made a recording breaking sales in my, or record-breaking sales in my little 3D printing service today. Most of my customers were lesbians. Thank you, ladies. That sounds rad. Very cool. What else? Raja, thanks for a 3-stream streak. Janerdy says, I'm less angry than you, but yeah, that ending really disappointed me. If it had ended 15 minutes before it, I have loved it. Yep. Yep, you can tell there were reshoots. Lance is trying to love herself. With 22 months says, I find myself mysteriously lured in by glowing lights in the darkness. Guess I'll stay here. Happy Pride, y'all. And back at ya. Nearest Crowhill with 46 months says, Hey, Hannah. Your stream is a godsend. I just got back into my apartment after accidentally locking myself out for 11 hours. Oh, that sucks. Also, opinion on the season finale of Doctor Who makes me want to pick up the series again even less. I haven't watched since Flux. See, that's the thing. There were some episodes within the new Russell T Davies era that I liked, but it all built up to, again, nonsense. And I don't mean in the typical, like, Doctor Who way. Like, Doctor Who is a lot of nonsense, but it's usually fun nonsense. And you can, like, accept the nonsense because it's still a show whose characters make sense. And, like, you know, there's an emotional core to the show that kind of grounds everything else around it. And this doesn't have any of that. It's just awful, self-indulgent tripe. Overthought with 100 bits says, I'm here for Pretty Hannah. Terradona says, good, become Sean's personal Baba Yaga. I will. Hell yeah. I'm gonna kill someone with a pencil. That's a reference to John Wick. That is not a threat towards anyone. Baba Yaga is what John Wick is called in the movie John Wick, and in that movie they say he killed someone with a pencil. Not a threat. It's a movie reference. Alright, 5% to level 2. This is the last day of the month, so if you want to help us get to our May sub goal, last day to do it. I know we're not going to make it. We're still like 72, I believe, subs away, so I don't think we'll get there. But if you would like to help out a ton, I would really appreciate if you would subscribe or gift subs. No big deal if you can't or don't. Just if anyone likes the show and can support it, I'd appreciate it. Stone Corbell, thanks for gifting a sub. And we're also doing our tip goal. We're getting there. And by the way, I'm thinking, because Sean is clearly upset about this, I think my first edited video I was originally planning to do on CC, it might be on this. I might do an expose on a lot of these medbed grifters, because fuck them, and they make me mad. So. Tea Time Tea, thank you so much for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. I really, really appreciate it. Odd Tall Man says, the great surprise at the end of the episode, under the finale, I loved it. No, see, that's part of the self-indulgence that I find obnoxious. Doctor Who has become a big, incestuous, like, lore party, where it can't just exist. It can only exist in constant self-examination of itself. It's like it's looking at itself in an infinite series of funhouse mirrors. The show, fundamentally, should be the Doctor shows up somewhere, a sci-fi thing happens, they fix it. The Doctor is effectively a pulp adventure hero, and the Time Lord stuff is just like the plot of how we got there. Instead, it's just this like self-indulgent, constant re-examination of the show's own mythos and its legacy, and like, just stop. Just fucking stop. Just make the show. Anyway, enough about Doctor Who. 85% to level 3 on the hype train. Big Finish Doctor Who is superior. I do like Big Finish. And to be clear, I'm not like... Let me be clear about this too. I don't like this season. I haven't really liked it since Capaldi left very much. A lot of that's due to the writing. But to be clear, the show ran for like 60 plus years with really great television, so that's fine. That doesn't taint any of the stuff I like. I'm just disappointed that I think there's a lot of opportunity for storytelling through the Doctor Who stuff, and instead of telling stories, they just want to talk about their own show in the show? I don't know. Stop it. Get help. Anyway, so like I said, today we're going to be examining medbed, anti-aging, and spiritual wellness, which is a worse name than USA Medbeds, but you get it. Phoenix Leftist, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you very, very much. Appreciate you. Getting us over, I think, level 5 of the hype train. Very nice. Trial of a Time Lord had a similar reaction in the 80s. Yeah. Especially because that was like a whole season. I get that. Anyway, oh, sorry, it was over level... maybe 3? We're 97% to level 4 now. Hey, Just a Peach, how's it going? So, while we're doing the hype train, we can get into some of this, shall we? Oh boy, enhancing psychic gifts and entering the Akashic records. That sounds legitimate. I don't remember. Toreador 50-bit. Oh, I just read that one. We're good. Cool. So Matt Smith is still the best. I like Capaldi. I think it's a tie for me between Smith and Capaldi, but I like them both. All right.
Super excited to have my guest on, Miss
Try not to spoil it, Moira Soma. Other people haven't watched it yet.
Allison Anderson.
I'm actually gonna.
And Allison, you have quite.
I'm gonna purge that comment just because that's technically a spoiler, Moira Soma, and I don't. Like, other people haven't seen it yet, and it's a surprise, even if I don't think it's good. So, don't spoil. Don't mention anything specific that happened in the episode. Okay, continuing.
A long resume of things that you do that you
You can tell how legitimate Sean is, because look at all the crystals behind him. Look how legitimate. He's so good.
specialize in. And I'm going to read off a few of these. However,
Oh, you're good, Moira Soma. I understand why you... It's not a big deal.
I guarantee I'm probably missing at least.
I want people to know, if I ever, like, delete stuff you say or purge a comment, I'm not mad at you. I know especially because, like, I have ADHD, so I know what it's like to have, like, rejection hypersensitivity. And I know a lot of my audience are also probably ADHD or, like, on the spectrum who also have rejection sensitivity. I am never mad at you unless I expressly say I'm mad at you. I just have to manage chat, you know, to be a good experience for everyone and to comply with Twitch rules. Not mad. You didn't miss anything, Polyaz's Cracker. Bittergrin with 100 bits says, damn, I wish I had all these amethyst geodes. They're pretty. They are, aren't they? They're not magic, but they are pretty. And Fennikagami says, if we're doomed to a 1984 cyberpunk planeteer surveillance state where the tech oligarchs have trapped us in permanent stagnation, then we deserve to sadistically destroy the career of a few grifters on the way to hell. Yeah, why not?
At least one or two. So let's just get to some of the core ones here.
Mama Hannah's not mad. She's just disappointed. I'm not even disappointed. I'm not disappointed.
Have a website or a subject title which is Embrace the Face, which is your primary, you know,
that is my business. Yes, my business.
Yes, Embrace the Face. Nurse, Reiki Master, Quantum Healing Guide, Ancient Healing
Reiki Master, Quantum Healing Guide. She's real good at waving her hands above you and having delusions of grandeur. That's what Reiki healing is. It's rubbing your hands over someone and having delusions of grandeur. No, for real, if you don't know, Reiki healing is people who think they can manipulate people's auras or energy fields. So they just wave your hands over your body and act like they healed you. It's basically psychic surgery for people who are bad at sleight of hand. Do you want to trick people with psychic surgery, but you don't want to palm chicken guts? Well, we have a scam for you.
Techniques extraordinaire.
For those that don't know what for those that don't know what psychic surgery is, if you've ever seen, you may not have seen this. It actually appears in the film Man on the Moon at the very end. Lance is trying to love herself, says from one purple queen to another. Thank you. Psychic surgery is another crackpot quackery bullshit thing where they will claim that they are, like, psychically, without making incisions, going into your body and pulling out, like, tumors and bad stuff. So they'll basically, like, take, I don't know, let me find an example real quick. They'll, like, go into, like, let's say I was like, oh, I have an arm tumor, and then they're gonna go into your arm and they're gonna go like, okay, don't worry, I got this. I'm gonna psychically pull the tumor out. And then they pull it out, and I had a whole glove in my arm. But, like, obviously it was just already in their palm. That's a known, like, magician trick, is palming things. So they basically have, like, animal guts or something that they put right here, and then they'll pretend they're pulling them out of your skin. It's a grift. It's a scam. Nemesaur, thank you so much for gifting 20 tier 1 subs. You are truly incredible and the MVP of this channel. You are an executive producer as far as I'm concerned, because this show could not function without your generous donations, which is very scary. But thank you. Well, we are only 40 subs away. We got pretty close this month. That's not bad. Anyway, so let's continue. Quarter behind the ear trick. Yeah, it's the same thing with the quarter behind the ear trick. Same deal, but with chicken guts.
I might just say. Also working with ancient healing, DNA repair, Ayurvedic.
Wow,
Skill.
DNA repair. That's impressive that she's able to do that without any real medical qualifications. Overthought, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Thank you very much.
Background.
35 left. Thank you.
Akashic record.
Level 7 complete. That's a hell of a hype train.
Knowledgeable.
22% to level 8.
Going to retrieve information. I know I forgot a few, but with all that being said, that's quite a bit of stuff. So thank you.
I give it a week before she's working for RFK Jr., by the way.
Thank you so much.
Your childrens don't need vaccines. They need a crunchy mom who did too many mushrooms in her 20s to wave her hands over your kids.
Being with us today.
Thank you. Thank you for having me, Sean.
So, one of the things
Paradona, thanks for gifting 2 tier 1 subs.
that I like to do is I like to kind of dive.
Did I see the citing of the RFK sources, which was none? Yeah, for those that didn't see, RFK's FDA, or whatever, is putting out shit that's AI generated. Like, they're trying to publish actual, like, papers and stuff that are AI generated, and they have a bunch of nonsense citations that aren't real, because that's how AI works, because everything's a fraud. Isn't it great? Rick M, thanks for gifting 5 tier 1 subs. Holy shit. Y'all are so generous. I really appreciate you.
Dive deep and get into, what it was
Akashic records should be on the bingo card. I agree.
that
I will update it, I promise.
kind of got you into this field and some of the things that you kind of experienced maybe growing up. And, when you're tapping into Akashic records and some of these things, for me, that's all vibration. And some people are tuned into that vibrational frequency and can get in and access that. Everybody has the ability to, but some people are.
But you should pay us for it, because it'd be nice if you paid us for it.
Gifted where they're more tuned in to some of those skills and some of those abilities at an early age. So if you would kind of tell us a little bit about your upbringing and what kind of brought you into the field and some of the experiences that you had along the way.
Okay, thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, so I don't even know where to start because I have a pretty crazy story. So I'll start.
Oh, whoa, the woo-woo crazy lady who thinks she heals people with energy is a crazy story? I don't believe it.
With I remember being little, being about 7, 8 years old, and being outside.
Unfortunately, I don't have Sean's legitimate healing discs, but Mr. Blast threw together this one that, frankly, I would say, with absolutely no FDA approval, just like Sean, is incredible, and I'm sure does all sorts of things that would be illegal to say even as a joke, if the FDA was actually headed by someone who gave a shit about the health and safety of citizens, but whatever. Anyway, does it radiate healing energy at you? Do you feel the power of the bullshit? This is my bullshit emanator. It emanates bullshit, and it heals all of the things that need to be healed comedically. Diogenes42, thanks for gifting 2 tier 1 subs.
with my cousin
And Moira Soma, thanks for 49 months at tier 2.
playing basketball, and like we saw the ground moving. We would see the concrete moving, and I remember I would see things that other people wouldn't see, or I would.
That, if you're genuinely seeing things that other people don't see, those are hallucinations, and that's a sign of a disorder, like schizophrenia or something similar. So if you are legitimately seeing things that other people do not, please see a real doctor, that went to medical school.
Hear things, and I do like double takes a lot because I thought I'd hear something. I would tell people, and I would be told like, "It's fine, Allie. Like you're fine. You're not. We don't talk about these things," kind of thing. My mother is Jewish.
Oh wow! So her family is just straight up denying her care for her mental illness. That explains a lot. Hey, parents out there, don't just ignore the signs of your child's mental illness, because this is where they're going to end up in life, and it's not a good place to be. You never want to be on this stream in that box. It's fun to be in this box on this stream. I make a lot of jokes, I tell some laughs, but when you end up in that box, things have gone terribly wrong for you in some way. At least in my estimation.
My father is
You
Catholic.
see a pastel lady fish with googly eyes? Are you crazy? Yes, but not for that reason. The fact that you find this show entertaining should maybe be diagnosable, but that's a different issue. I don't write the DSM. That's on them.
And I grew up, my brothers and I were
It's
baptized.
fun to be in this box, too. Good to know. I hope you enjoy that box. Ooh, I'll be in the box. I'm in the box! Well, that was nice. I was in the box. That does feel good. Rick M with the 10 stream streak says, restarting my streak, I'll try to beat the 120 plus streak. Nice. I hope you do. 13% level 9.
But we were never like pulled toward one religion or another. And at 13, I felt this presence of, looking back, I feel it was either like the Blessed Mother or Mary Magdalene. There was always this like nurturing, divinely feminine presence. And I always felt very lost. I felt like I had a connection to extraterrestrials. I'd lay in bed at night and I always felt like a presence. I'd look at the stars, I'd look at the sky. I always knew that there was something more.
Again, like, not all of this, but this is very much lining up to me that she has some sort of undiagnosed mental illness that she is channeled into this Reiki stuff, which isn't the worst thing you could channel it into, like, but it's not benign either, because even though I believe she believes all of this, she's legitimately taking money from people for a service that does nothing more than the placebo effect would. Now, Sean, on the other hand, I get the vibe that Sean knows this is bullshit and he just likes to use it. He also ingratiated himself with the super soldier people to sell stuff to them, and I think he knows that that's bullshit. If he doesn't, that's very sad, but I get the feeling that he knows it's bullshit and just wants to sell these people the insane bullshit they believe in, even though it's not true.
So at 13, also, mind you, I'm a triple Aquarius. I found this out. So I'm a
How do you be a triple Aquarius?
sun,
I'm a Pisces, which means I don't believe in bullshit like horoscopes.
moon rising Aquarius with Mercury in my first house. So it makes a lot of sense about who I am, and my perception and my way of thinking and living. So at 13, I decided to have my sacraments made. And I had my communion and confirmation, and I always felt a connection, but I never really went back to church. I became a typical teenager, always seeing
I get the vibe that you were not a typical teenage. Minute left on the hype train.
and hearing things, but always being made to feel like I couldn't look into it further. I didn't know anybody else like that. I would have dreams and things would happen. I would think of somebody that I hadn't thought of in so long. And
Can I just say too, I've talked about this, someone else says if you do a whole astrological chart, I've got 3 Capricorns apparently. I have a friend who's into that stuff because they were raised by a parent who is into this stuff. Her mom took a class and is certified in Reiki healing, and so is my friend because her mom made her go to the class. And this is actually funny. I went to middle school and high school with this girl. We were such close friends. We actually dated for a little while in high school, but like we've continued to be friends up until now. We're both in our 30s, and she's great. And it's funny because we used to argue back in high school because I've always been, let's call it a skeptic when it comes to the supernatural, or at least, you know, since like high school, you know, when I was old enough to even have opinions about such things, although I was a bigger dick about it then. Believe it or not. So we used to argue about that stuff, and I used to get so frustrated that she believed in the supernatural. And here's the good news, chat. She came around. She came around. And she no longer believes in the stuff, to my knowledge, at least not in the literal sense. But she knows it's bullshit. She's the one I've told you guys about that collects tarot cards. She still is fascinated with the aesthetic of the supernatural, of the paranormal, because it's a cool aesthetic, and I'm into that too, so I don't blame her at all. I think that's awesome. And she still collects tarot cards just for the fun of it, and she uses stuff like that like a lot of people do, not literally believing it's magic or supernatural, but just as a way to sort of think about things, sort of like a Rorschach test. So she's awesome, and if she ever sees this, because she stops by sometimes, she sees the show, you're cool. Thanks for being my friend since middle school. Especially because I was a gross boy back then. Anyway.
they would like pop back into my life. People
Jay Rodimus with 40 bits says there's always some weird persecution element to all this, isn't there? She's talking about it like all this woo shit was purposely kept from her, which is funny because the reality of the situation sounds like her family maybe is aware of mental illness running in the family, but they have like a very old-fashioned, like Victorian notion of like, we just don't talk about it. If we don't talk about it, it's not real. Because like schizophrenia and stuff like that often runs in families, so it wouldn't surprise me if other people in her family had suffered similar hallucinations previously. Lance with 100 bits says, me filming some cute goslings on the coast of Lake Michigan near my job. Coworker, unprompted. What's your sign? Me, Cancer. Why? Her. Oh, I thought you were a nature sign. Me. No, I just like cute things. Oh, her. That makes sense. Horoscopes mean that you want them what you want them to. Yeah. Yeah. Horoscopes are broad and apply to virtually everyone. That's the point. That's the point.
people would die. We'd have like family members or friends die.
You love a cult aesthetic? Me too. I like a cult aesthetic. I like pseudo-scientific aesthetic a lot. I have a phrenology head around somewhere. I don't remember where I put it, but I loved that fucking thing. Not because it's real, it's not, but it's a constant reminder to me is how systematized nonsense can become. Nonsense is not just shit random people on the internet say that we make fun of. Nonsense can be systematized and used against people to discriminate against them, and it often is. So anyway.
And they would come to me in my dreams like immediately, and I would tell my mom. So like I always just had these things, but as I was a teenager,
I would argue right now we're in the process of a great systemization of nonsense with the Trump administration changing so many things in their image, and their image is woo-woo nonsense a lot of the time, so buckle up for the repercussions of that over the next 50 years.
I shut down. My ego took over and I lost who I was. And I totally forgot why I was supposed to be here on this earth. And that had been a battle for a very long time. I was telling you before recording, my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, was an electrophysiotherapist. He was a quantum healer. He wore quantum healing patches in like the 90s.
Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and say again, evidence that mental illness runs in this family is really mounting. Especially, frankly, to be into this stuff in the 90s was a whole level of crazy above being into it now. Because, like, now you can just get sucked into a pipeline through YouTube or Telegram or whatever, and it can radicalize you into a lot of stuff. In the 90s, you had to search this stuff out. Algorithms weren't pushing you towards becoming crazy in the 90s. You had to seek this shit out. So, I'm thinking she maybe has some mental illness in the family, in my opinion. Hey, Loki. Ash and Asphodel, thanks for 30 months. Appreciate ya.
Many textbooks that are in many languages around the world. Physical therapists know him. He started a physical therapy school on Long Island. He was always into quantum healing, and we...
Ashley One Up with 50 bits.
She has the sloping brow and cranial bump into the career criminal.
Sir, phrenology was dismissed as quackery 160 years ago.
Of course you'd say that. You have the brain pan of a stagecoach tilter.
A
stagecoach tilter.
We always used to talk about these things around like 16 years old, and then he passed when I was 18. And I always feel like he has been with me, guiding me, especially more so now in the world of quantum physics. And I'm going to lead up to it. So,
ma'am, you don't know what quantum means, quite evidently, and you don't know dick about quantum physics. To be clear, neither do I. I'm not a physicist, much less a fucking quantum physicist, but it annoys me when these people act like they know what they're talking about when all they do is sit around all day and fucking jack off to their own delusional thoughts.
My life...
Man, I'm doing a real bad job with my voice lately. I'm so intense that I forget to kind of try and keep it soft, you know? Try and keep it in this zone. But no, I'm mad, so I gotta... that's not attractive, Hannah. That makes you sound really gross. Stop it. Get some help.
Nurse. I always knew I wanted to be a nurse. My grandfather always encouraged me, said I could help change the world if I wanted to. And I just went through the motions, right? I went through the motions of life. I became a nurse at 21, bought my first house at 22.
I'm not mad at you. I'm mad with you.
A child at 23, suffered from severe postpartum depression and anxiety, drank myself through the next decade. I would, George Thorogood, the song I Drink Alone, that was me. I would go out and have a good time, but I would go home and I would drown out everything in my pity and woes. And I find
people who are undiagnosed with mental illnesses, in particular, like ones that are really severe, like delusional or disorders like schizophrenia, where you could actively hallucinate things, voices, shadow people, etc. Self-medication can be a thing that a lot of people get into when they're undiagnosed. So again, this story of her getting incredibly into alcohol to dull a lot of these things is right in line with someone suffering from a hallucination disorder and not being diagnosed.
Finally sought help for postpartum anxiety and depression after my second child, because my husband forced me to. And I was just thrown band-aids of pharmaceuticals. At 27, I started having GI symptoms, was diagnosed later on with gastroparesis, esophageal dysmotility, autonomic neuropathy, neurogenic bladder, migraines, small fiber neuropathy. I almost died from a GI bleed. I had a total out-of-body experience, where I came back in 2019, January of 2019, knowing that nothing was ever going to be the same. I woke up.
All right, I'm gonna find something where Sean's talking more because, well, that lady is certainly probably harming people through her beliefs. I do believe, unfortunately, that her beliefs are sincere. So let's get to some of his other crap, shall we?
Right. We are live here in our little futuristic medbed center. And we actually have one of our technologies right here with us.
If you've never seen me cover this guy before, his healing center, air quotes, he has a whole room that he basically has matte paintings up of sci-fi corridors that were probably made with AI, because his marks are a lot of people that are into sci-fi bullshit, and also a lot of them are quite gullible. So for whatever reason, this is appealing to them. If I went into a doctor's office and they had this on the wall, I'd probably find a new doctor. I wouldn't find it comforting.
Which is the Celestial Pod, which we'll get
We're actually not doing bingo today. Polly has his cracker.
over to that here shortly. But today's just a real quick update on medbed technology. And for anybody out there that has questions, we can do questions and answers. But there's a lot of information, a lot of things starting to come out now about medbeds, when medbeds are going to be available. So, the goal is to kind of give you sources to some of that information, and also to answer any questions that you might have as far as where that's going. And, some of the stuff that we talk about obviously is going to be speculation, since there's a lot of factors involved. We're not always sure exactly when all this will unfold, but the times are definitely showing a very positive outcome and outlook. So we're very excited about.
Altered Undying says, Hannah, I just learned that pigs used to look radically different. I mean, yeah. People have selectively bred animals over periods of time, so their appearance and everything has changed quite a bit. We've done the same thing with vegetables that we've domesticated.
About that.
Look up what bananas look like. Hold on. Wild banana. Yeah, this is what a wild banana looks like. It's borderline inedible. But then humans selectively bred them to be the bananas we know today. This is actually one of the things that Charles Darwin looked at when he was, like, working on the theory of evolution, was, forget the exact word. It had a different word back then. Now we would call it, something along the lines of artificial selection, but there was a different term for it back in the day that is now considered antiquated. But, like, farmers and stuff knew that through breeding certain animals, you could get certain outcomes. So it was already kind of understood that there was something going on. They just didn't know that the mediating factor was like genes and like selection. In this case, it was selection by humans, and we didn't know about natural selection, but it's a similar mechanism mediated by different factors. In the case of like domesticated animals, it's human selection. In nature, it's natural selection.
So if you are watching and you have questions, feel free to throw those into the chat. We're going to talk about the history of med beds and kind of where they came from, where their tech.
His asshole. Fennikagami says, in addition to RFK Jr.'s AI-generated American cast report, we also got a 1,000-page actual science paper out of Utah that concluded gender-affirming care is good and saves lives that completely debunked RFK without even trying, since it started 3 years ago. And of course, the Utah GOP ignored it and continues to block pediatric gender-affirming care. Yeah, they don't care about actual scientific study. They already believe what they know is right. Like, they're intuitive thinkers, derogatory, so they don't think and they don't change their minds when evidence comes up that proves them wrong because they don't believe in evidence. Evidence is a rhetorical tool for them, not an actual thing that's supposed to matter.
Technology is from, and we're going to get into some of that on the history of that. And, we can start there. And so one of the things that you've probably heard me say many times is that there is a lot of med bed technology that's out now that is available. It's not the off-planet or extraterrestrial technology, which is obviously very, very powerful, but it is able to do quite a bit of things right now. And some of it is actually extraterrestrial technology that's been rediscovered by
Well, that's certainly a claim that could be evaluated by the FDA, don't you think, Sean?
some of the most brilliant minds on the planet. So we'll get into that as well. But when it comes to what is a med bed, we probably should start there first. Med beds technically are chambers, most of the time represented as sort of a bed that has a glass top over it. And it's something that people can lay in.
What he's talking about, by the way, is usually images, when scammers talk about med beds, nowadays a lot of it is AI generated, but it's usually stuff like this. It's stuff that you would see from sci-fi films. I'm not actually sure what show that was from. But here's an entire, oh god, is this an entire Pinterest board of med bed stuff? Oh, fuck. But you get it, you know? You have little sci-fi bullshit things. And then also, funnily enough, I've also seen the suicide, like, I almost called it a suicide booth. I forget what they're called, but like the booths in certain countries, the pods, whatever you call them in certain countries that do end of life stuff for people suffering from like chronic illness, stuff like that. Whatever they call them. Anyway, I've seen those, like, pictures of those displayed as med beds. And it's like, that's kind of the opposite, isn't it?
And it can basically heal or cure just about anything that needs to be healed or cured. So that's a general.
Oh, wow, that's also a claim that's made by you could fucking have the FDA question. How you doing, Sean?
Principle as far as what it actually is. And it's a very futuristic piece of technology. And it is a technology that's out there that we're expecting.
To be clear, he's not saying his med bed is those med beds. He's saying his is like, not quite that, but it'll do some stuff. So as a rhetorical tool, he's referencing the QAnon type med bed, like sci-fi devices, and he's claiming, well, I don't have those, but I have a pretty good one.
To have released to the planet. And it's actually interesting because this is going to go also very much with disclosure, what we're talking about as far as disclosure, talking about the fact that there are other intelligent sources and light beings that are out there now that we're going to be basically introduced to. And these are, literally there's thousands of different extraterrestrial families and different kinds of extraterrestrial beings. So we're right on the verge, man. It's like so much stuff is just coming to a head right now. And this actually ties into the drone stuff also, which we can talk a little bit about the drones and we'll get into what some of that is. And that's, information that's being sourced out that is available that I'll give out to everybody in the description as far as what is the drone thing.
What I think Carrie would say if Smoo started talking to this guy, oh boy. She'd probably say he's a scammer. He's not talking to Smoo. She might already say that, honestly. She doesn't like other people that do medbed scams because it lessens her potential pool of marks. So she was actually supposed to go on Super Soldier Talk a couple weeks ago, and like it was literally to the point where they had the video, like when a stream is about to happen and it's like the thumbnail and the title and it's like starting in like 20 minutes or whatever, and it was Super Soldier Talk was going to do an interview with Carrie, and I like literally messaged someone else too about it. I was like, holy shit, like check this out. And then she never showed up. So it's interesting because she almost never talks with other people because she's a really bad scammer, and it becomes obvious she's grifting when anyone pushes back even a little bit against her. So I don't know if she dropped out at the last minute or what, but I just cannot find that video. I don't think they ever went live with her. Very weird. I wish I know what was going on behind the scenes there.
Thing all about, but it gets into the disclosure, which gets into the med beds, which gets into a whole host of things. So once again, med beds are off-planet technology. Most of the people that are talking about med beds that actually know what these med beds are or where this information comes from programs that are off-planet run by various governments. It's kind of a large program. It's done through corporations and governments and what have you.
Covering all the bases, it's done through governments and corporations. Playing both sides, so no matter what's true, I'm right.
But the basic premise is that we have been out in every planet in the universe in our solar system for 56.
In every planet in the universe in our solar system. There's a big difference between every planet in the universe and our solar system.
60 years, this whole thing with
they're off planet, so the FDA has no jurisdiction. We did it. We understand why Musk wants to leave the planet now, because he's tired of regulations and pesky laws.
Going to the moon.
Did you see how fucking high he was in the Oval Office the other day? Oh my god. And the fucking black eye? Jesus, dude. When I was an alcoholic, one time I got so fucking drunk, I passed out and fell into a shelf and broke the shelf. And it, like, cut up my face. Anyway, not my finest moment, but I think something similar happened to Musk. I think he was on ketamine or whatever and fucking fell down. He said one of his kids hit him, but his kid's 5 years old. I don't think a 5-year-old gave him a black eye like that. I could be wrong. Just my speculation that he was on drugs and something happened.
And all that. There's a lot of stuff that says we did or we didn't do it. But if you think about that happened when I was a baby. I mean, I'm 58. So I know that in the 60s, this is when we're talking about this stuff. And it's kind of interesting to think that we've never been back up there. But simultaneously, we've been.
Yeah, his excuse was that his 5-year-old did it. I know some other people are speculating that Stephen Miller punched him in the face because there's rumors that Elon Musk stole Stephen Miller's wife and cucked him. Well, like, that's speculative, and I think it's more likely he got drugged up and fell. I don't know.
Everywhere and are everywhere. And there's
ketamine has also given him severe urinary incontinence, according to reporting. Couldn't have happened to a better guy.
Various programs where people are recruited, taken off planet. They do a bit, if we would say, where they do a 20-year program. Many times that's referred to as a 20 and back. One of the guests that I've had on my channel many times.
I'm just going to go to space for 20 years. No big deal.
Is James Rink. He's been in these programs.
James Rink is the super soldier talk guy who's the Nazi apologist. He thinks that Nazis... I think he also thinks... He's not the guy that begged Antarctic Nazis to come save him, but I think he also believes in Antarctic Nazis.
James has got a channel which is called Super Soldier Talks, which is on YouTube, and I believe he's also on Brighteon. And he's had that channel since like 2012, and he interviews a lot of the people that have been in these various programs. And all this is kind of coming out. It's going to start coming out in bits and pieces. The extraterrestrial thing is coming out now, and
it's not. It never is. These people are always constantly like, the UFO disclosure is happening. It's not gonna happen. It's happening right now. And then it's not, because again, aliens haven't visited Earth. Believe me, chat, if anyone wishes that there was somewhere other than here with a civilization, if there was anyone that desperately wished to talk to a sapient species other than human beings, it's me. It's not real. There's other life out there in the universe, most likely. Just statistically, I would find it unimaginable that there isn't life somewhere. But it's never coming here, and we're never going there. The distance is too large, and that doesn't even bring into the time factor. Like, what if there is other life, but it never exists at the same time? What if right now we have life on Earth, but nothing else in the universe, or nothing even nearby? And then in 1 billion years, when we're extinct, there's another life, planet out there. We don't know. Aliens have not visited Earth. And they wouldn't be like Star Trek aliens. They would be so different to human beings, it wouldn't even make sense for us to interface with them on some sort of mutual level. Hydrate, will do.
I guess the main thing is just kind of giving everybody a little peace of mind to say that, there's a lot of positive things going on, a lot of good things. The different extraterrestrial people, many are benevolent, many are very good. There's a lot of good that's coming down right now, and that gets a little bit into the drone thing and where that's going, and that also kind of all.
Yeah, this is from 5 months ago. This is when the drone shit was in the news. Remember when a bunch of these people got, whipped into a mass hysteria about drones and started seeing them everywhere, even when they're not? Oh wow, more AI you fucking taped to the wall. Classy.
We are live. We are live with Miss Right.
Which alien race from any sci-fi would you most want to visit Earth? Vulcans? Question mark? Probably Vulcans.
Riley J. Willis. God, that sounds like a Hollywood name. Riley Jane Willis.
Nana used to call Casty.
I kind of notice, and this isn't an accusation of any kind, I just find it interesting, whenever he has, employees around him, have you ever noticed that, all of his employees are,
Cutting edge.
White young women? Again, just statistically, it's fine, young women need jobs. I'm just saying, I am noticing a pattern in the kind of people he tends to hire to have around him all day. Draw your own conclusions as you will from that.
Okay. Gosh, what a great day today. Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining our podcast. Today, we're going to talk about grounding.
Did you know that YouTube videos are podcasts? Did you know that this is a podcast because it's 2009?
We've got a lot of good information, and grounding is going to cover a lot of stuff. Everybody talks med beds, and our Earth is the ultimate med bed. So,
oh, well, you're going to get run right out of business then. Mom, can we have med beds? We have med beds at home. The med bed we have at home. Picture of the Earth.
Once again, we are going to get into that, but there's so
I know that Ashley went up. He doesn't do that, I don't believe. This isn't something he releases as a podcast. He's just calling a YouTube stream a podcast.
many benefits, right? The goal is to find ways to keep yourself healthy and do it in a way where you're not having to spend money, right? Primarily trying to do it in a way where you're interacting with nature and all the wonderful things that are free to us on this planet. So we are going to start getting into that. Riley, nice to see you today. How are you?
Yes, doing well. How are you?
Absolutely peaches.
Perfect. We
Mhm.
love to be here. We are so excited. So we are USA MedBed and Health.
Wait a minute, I thought you were med bed, anti-aging, and spiritual wellness. I wonder why you changed the name.
Healthy Life Technology.
Healthy Life Technology, our website. We had a lot of really good feedback from our last podcast that we did, which was on, what day was that? Friday?
I think so.
So if anybody has questions, feel free to jump on,
Yep,
and
throw 'em
I'm
in the
going to
box.
open up our chat. And do you want to type in Healthy Life Technology just to get the
Sure.
chat going? So inflammation is one of the leading causes of death on the planet Earth. And
Oh no, is this where Peter gets the... Peter thought that! Is this guy Peter that fell through a wormhole at some point in the future and has gone back in time to live his dreams? Am I crazy? Is this future Peter?
we're going to get into talk a little bit
Nah, he doesn't have a robot.
about inflammation.
Maybe he got so good at building robots that these employees are actually robots and we just don't know it.
What causes it, why people are dealing with a lot of stiffness, soreness, arthritis, a lot of these different problems. And basically, we can attribute a lot of the issues that we have from
Lantern's Glow says he looks dried out. Drink some water. What? So he can fluoridize his pineal gland? So he can't interface his third eye with the universal Akashic Nexus? We're on to you, Deep State.
lack of contact with touching the earth. And if you can imagine through our evolution as us being
Is Peter still out there doing Peter things? He's not making videos, believe me. If he was, I'd be covering it. He's just doing whatever he's doing. I know he got a real job, so good for him for that, I guess. But yeah, he's not really been making content.
humans, we always were in contact with the earth, right? So we were walking around, we had leather sole shoes, but when the revolution came, give me just a sec here, people. When the revolution came for rubber sole shoes, we disconnected from the earth, and when that happened, it created a whole host of problems. So
I promise it didn't. It didn't. Just people have probably less nasty calloused feet. Not no nasty calloused feet, but fewer.
we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about what those problems are.
Ordered From Beyond 4K when Vinegar Syndrome had that sale. That's a good choice. I have their copy of From Beyond. It's quite good. Really nice, deep purples in it. It's beautiful. I watched that when I first got it. Like, I turned off all the lights and just the room, especially that opening title, just From Beyond in the deepest purple. Just like it just like lit the whole room in purple. Really beautiful transfer on that.
And why that results in inflammation. And a really great movie. Now, a lot of this is all science-based
I have it up
stuff.
right
You have the
It's all science-based. He said it, so it's true.
Earthing movie on there.
Dirty Work is the other one, but that was new. Yeah, I did see they're putting out Dirty Work. I've watched that movie. It's not my thing, but I do generally like Norm Macdonald, so I'm glad for him and fans of his the movie's coming out.
Oh, you've got on your computer?
They're also releasing The Golden Child, which I wish I could get, but I can't afford it right now.
Dang, girl. You're high tech. I love that. That's why we love having young people around. Yeah, I was going to try. That's why we love having young people around. Yeah, I was going to try to do it on my phone. But the Earthing movie is a phenomenal movie. 20 scientific studies, and I really suggest everybody watch that movie because that really gets into the science of what it does, how it works.
I hate that woo-woo people have... How do I put this? I hate when they try to rhetorically use science because they want to have the legitimacy that comes with, like, the idea of the scientific method. But they always cherry pick and don't want to actually go where the evidence leads them. They just want information that backs up what they already believe, but to be able to rhetorically claim that it is science. And it's always obvious and always annoying.
It gets into why your blood starts getting coagulated and clumping when you're not making contact with the earth. So many people now
Yeah, that's not a thing. That's not a thing. That's not a thing.
nowadays are talking about having issues with strokes and all these different issues with blood. And there's been a lot of things,
Are we going to talk about the four humors?
going on in the medical industry that have probably had some possible implications for that. So with that being said, one of the normal processes for us as humans is obviously cell regeneration. And we all know that every, do you want to just put that on hold for now? So it's not, yeah. So basically, during cell regeneration, bad cells get replaced. Basically what happens is that the white blood cell gets sent to clear off the bad cell. It releases a free radical, which kind of cleans up the mess. And once the free radical is done in a healthy body, an electron will basically connect with that free radical, stabilize the cell. Job is complete, all over. Now, one of the things that we get from the earth are electrons, right? Electrons
Earth, it's got the electrons you crave.
basically come from the
If I need to say this, he's not right about how any of this works. He is gesturing in the direction of certain mechanisms, but then completely misrepresenting how they function. Let's leave it at that. Bullshit.
sun. They hit the earth and bounce up into the outer atmosphere, right? So electrons come
Which humor is your favorite? Big fan of black bile here. I'm gonna go with phlegm. I'll go with phlegm.
from the sun. They're essential for our
What are the black bile? What is it? I thought it was like blood, phlegm, shit. I don't know. I don't know off the top of my head.
basically for our maintenance.
Yellow and black bile. Damn, people must have had pus all the time back then. Did they just genuinely think humans were supposed to be full of fucking pus? Like, because to say that yellow or what, do they just mean like the stuff when you throw up on an empty stomach, basically? Or was everyone just full of pus historically?
And for our body. And when the lightning strikes, what it does, it brings negative ions into the earth. Now, if you can imagine, the earth is primarily nickel and ore and metal. And so those electrons basically get implanted into the earth. And there's about 6,000 lightning strikes happening every 5 minutes on the earth. So the earth is constantly zapping us with electricity.
No, it's not. No, it isn't. No, the fact that the Earth experiences lightning strikes does not mean everyone is getting a little bit of those lightning strikes through their feet. No, that's not how conductivity works. What are you talking about?
And bringing those ions into the earth, right? So, basically, those ions or those electrons are infused into our body when we touch the earth. So when we put our feet physically on the ground, our body absorbs electrons. And those electrons thus are essential for maintaining good health. They're really good for declustering your blood. But what
Are you serious?
they're also very, very, very essential for is neutralizing free radicals. Free radicals are extremely damaging cells, and it's a buildup of free radical cells that causes inflammation. And when your body doesn't have electrons,
At what age do people start listening to you just because you're confident and old? Like, is there a specific age you hit where people just start going, oh, they're old, they probably know what they're talking about? Is it 40? Is it 50?
those free radicals build up and start causing a massive amount of damage. And it's the silent inflammation and it's the silent buildup of free radical cells, which is the actual cause and root cause of things like heart disease and a lot of the most, probably some of the most serious health issues. Do you have anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I mean, as we're talking about grounding, it gets really intense. As I always say, there's layers to everything. But basically just remembering that
There's layers to everything is such a, like, hand wipe of, like, I wasn't paying attention. I don't know what you're talking about. There's so many layers to everything.
is simple. It's just about reconnecting with nature. It's about getting yourself on the Schumann residence, walking barefoot on the grass, sand, dirt, just feeling the earth beneath you.
They've literally taken touch grass to the level of some sort of, like, clinical need.
Also, physics plays a really, really, really important part, and that's why
Physics plays an important part, as it does in everything, ma'am. It's literally describing how everything works physically and energetically. What are you talking about?
like, we are so
technically true, which is the best kind of true.
That's why we are using these ourselves, and that's why we are a part of this new
crinkle, crinkle, crinkle. Hey, don't put crinkly stuff. That's not good. No one wants to hear that.
Meant to help everyone be grounded in your own home, especially.
Oh, see, at the beginning of this video, I was like, oh, well, he's saying that this is all free, so maybe him being a scammer is me being too hard on him. Maybe I'm making poor assumptions about this man, and maybe he is just also delusional, because he started this particular stream with, it's free, you just touch the earth. Except, now, oh, you don't want to go outside, though, to ground yourself, do you? Don't worry. He's got a product to sell you. It's these fucking grounding bed sheets, which are just nonsense. He's overcharging you for whatever he's charging for this shit. How much do you think he's charging for these goddamn sheets? We'll take a look. Just a Peach with a $1 tip says, I was like 12 when people started listening to me when I talked like I knew what was true, and 46 people still do, even if I think I'm a bit of a Karen. Let me see. Where's... Let me see a link. I know I have his websites pulled up. Which website does he sell the grounding sheets on? He sells a lot of his products on different websites, and I don't know exactly why. I don't know if it's just to try and catch as many people as possible through different, like, SEO stuff. But either way, that's what he's doing. Let me see. It's got to be in one of these. Anti-aging bed covers. This it? Grounding. Earth grounding towels. He sells grounding towels. Oh, yeah. He's charging $800 for this shit. For the grounding sheets, he's selling them for $800. This dickbag, Sean Callahan. And Sean, if you're watching this video, fuck you. Sean, how do you not feel bad every day of your life, Sean? There are actual sick people, hurting people, maybe people who don't even have a physical illness, but they just have a mental illness that makes them believe the stuff you're saying, and you're charging them $800 for this? You better hope there isn't a hell, Sean. I don't know what your religious beliefs are, but you better hope the lights just go out. Because if they don't, holy shit! He's not just going to hell, he's going, like, straight to the bottom. He's going right in Satan's asshole.
especially for those that don't have the opportunity to get out, walk around in the grass, and just do stuff like that. And for me,
Show the healing wand he sells and the one you have. I did show this on a previous one, but for those who haven't seen it, this is the... Hold on. This is the terahertz wand. Oh, there we go. It's right at the end or something. Wow, this is barely a YouTube video. Why is it even a fucking video? Weird.
Start her up.
All right. So
Anyway, so this is his terahertz wand. I think I showed this briefly at the beginning. But basically these get like drop shipped out of China. It's these. They're functionally the same as a hair dryer. It's literally just like a hair dryer, but they call it like a heat gun. And I think that the actual intended use is some kind of like pain relief, you know, like blowing it on something that's sore, because, you know, I think it's pretty well known that, you know, gentle heat can ease certain aches and pains. That's why heating pads are a thing. So the idea is it's basically a hair dryer, but instead of having that shape, it has a straight shape, and then you could just blow it on something that hurts a little bit or something. But he's selling it as if it is like shooting magic rays at you. He wouldn't describe them as magic literally, but the way he describes it is through technobabble bullshit, and he claims that it'll heal you and do all sorts of things. The most you can claim is it'll apply gentle heat to the area, which might relieve certain aches and pains. That's a pretty reasonable claim, and frankly, I don't know why you would do that instead of just getting a heating pad, because this is going to be way more expensive to run than a heating pad. It's a motor. It has a motor in it. And lights. Definitely more energy intensive than a heating pad. Or even just get a bottle of hot water, put some fucking rice in a sock and microwave it. Jesus Christ. So anyway, he's a scam artist piece of shit that takes drop ship items that he got for cheap somewhere else, and then he sells them to people based on a narrative that he forms about these being like fantastic health devices when they are not.
having such inflammation, having terrible migraine.
By the way, I'm not very concerned about Sean or like litigation here, because the ultimate defense to defamation is truth. And there is, even with how fucked up the world is right now, I am not scared even a little bit of this going to some sort of him trying to sue me, because he would have to demonstrate literally any of the claims he's making are true, and the vast majority he knows are bullshit. He knows they're bullshit, and they would not stand up to even the lightest bit of scrutiny, which is why he changed the name of the fucking YouTube channel, because I already put him on blast when it was called USA Medbeds.
And always having just...
It was cheap too. Yeah, wasn't it like 25 or 35 bucks for like the hair dryer thing? And he's selling his for like $800.
insane inflammation in my head when I started.
In your hand, scamming, 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 ing.
Sleeping on one of the pillowcases, I literally stopped getting migraines. So it's just...
That would be placebo, ma'am. Like, if that's legitimately what happened, somehow the placebo effect has cured your migraines. Incredible. Literally incredible.
What it can do is, it's just crazy. It puts a lot of things into perspective.
Right. And so just to get back to kind of what we were talking about, the body absorbing all those electrons then is essential for reduction of inflammation. And people say, well, I've had a bad back for 20 years, or I've had a bad back for 5 years, or, my arms are stiff and I'm sore. A lot of that primarily can be caused and is the result of not making physical contact with the earth.
No, it's because you're getting older. This is something scumbags like him too. Everyone gets older. If you're lucky, you get older, I guess I should say. Not everyone gets older. If you're lucky, you get older. When you get older, your body is going to start to fail you. You're going to get pains. You're going to get aches. You're not going to heal as quickly as you used to. You're going to have issues with your body. That's a fact of life. But instead of, helping these people understand that and maybe seek stuff that can help, hey, maybe start taking like aspirin or ibuprofen or get a heating pad. Maybe just like if you're doing workouts or something, maybe you're at an age where you need to like lower the intensity of your workouts or something. But instead of helping these people acknowledge that these pains are just a part of life and, stuff changes, instead he's convinced them that these very normal changes are somehow symptomatic of some terrible thing that's happening to them, when it's not. It's not the funnest thing, but it's just part of, like, being a human being and living long enough. It just is what it is. I don't know what to tell you. And the fact that he's trying to make these people even more paranoid about normal aches and pains is sick. You know how many fucking hypochondriacs probably pay money to shitbags like this? Disgusting.
Or not grounding. And so one of the things that we do now, if you follow the channel, I go out hiking quite a bit. Riley's outdoors a lot. And one of the things I do when I finish the hike is literally take my
Darby says, I'm 44 and I've had pains by 25. I was having chronic neck pain recently, or at least not chronic. I was having intermittent neck pain recently for like the last 6 months. And I legitimately thought, okay, I'm over 30. That makes sense. That's fine. I'm working more than usual. I'm sitting at like desks and like leaning up. Of course I'm getting neck pains. And then, this is pretty gross, but it's a true story that needs to be told. It doesn't, but I'm going to tell it anyway. Baha was like, oh, what's that on your neck? And then she pulled out the biggest blackhead I've ever seen and tons of pus. It was like a cyst in my fucking upper back near my neck. And there was a big hole afterwards. And I haven't had neck pain since. So that was just putting a lot of pressure on something. It is gross. It's disgusting. The human body is disgusting. Sorry to break it to you. Anyway, so I feel much better now.
My boots off and my shoes.
That felt relieving immediately. It was immediately relieving. I immediately was like, holy shit, that's where my neck pain was coming from.
Sit down next to this little
I am lucky to have such a great wife. Very true, Phoenix.
creek and do at least 10 or 15 minutes of grounding. And we have grounding technology also. So for people that are out there that are not able to physically do that, we sell a lot of grounding technology, which we'll get to.
Oh my God, I just realized too, this is so much more sick. This is so much more sick than I initially even thought. I was about to say to myself, what, like people who don't have access to going outside and touching grass? And then I had my aha moment. Oh my God. There are absolutely people who can't go outside and touch grass because they have disabilities and find it difficult to leave their house. So he seems to specifically not only be targeting people who might just think they're ill, but the chronically ill, the elderly, people with mobility issues who might find it difficult to go outside regularly. He's telling them, if you can't go outside and touch the ground with your bare feet, you're fucked. It's going to kill you. It's going to build up all sorts of terrible stuff. But since you can't do that, I'll be really nice and sell you this mattress pad for $800 that'll do the same thing. He is preying on the vulnerable, on the sick, on the elderly. Sean is a piece of human excrement.
Here in the show as we go forward, but the reduction of inflammation is really essential. It's silent inflammation. It's not the kind of inflammation where you sprained your ankle and your ankle's all swollen.
Penikagami says, as humans become more seasoned, they get spicier and sometimes ruin its own taste, and sometimes the seasoning needs to get cleaned off so that can get you better. Your flavor is always changing, and eventually it goes bad. Can you tell I'm hungry? None of that made me hungry. That was hungry to you? Talking about humans being seasoned and spicy? Go eat food.
Oh, hey, Nikhil Gupta, you're back. Thank you so much for coming back to join us today. This is the kind of inflammation that's silent inflammation, and therefore...
AKA nonsense, like inflammation that's not really there, but you're trying to convince your audience full of paranoid people that all of their medical issues are caused by inflammation when it's not.
This is the kind of inflammation where you want to address it because it's happening internally. And this is one of the key things that actually increases the aging process and starts the physical breakdown of
Increases aging process.
the body. A buildup of
Perfectly grammatically nonsensical statement.
free radical cells in the body over a prolonged period of time is going to manifest into some type of serious health issue. And a lot of the most serious health issues that we have, they can't really give us a good reason as to why they occur or how they occur. But it's quite clear, according to the World Health Organization, that 80% or more of all deaths on the planet Earth are the result of some type of inflammatory disease.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No. What are you talking about?
So with that being said, today's call, and 80% or more of all deaths on the planet Earth are the result of some type of inflammatory disease.
80% of deaths are caused by inflammation. Is he counting heart disease as an inflammatory disease? Ashley One Up says, did you know that aging is the #1 cause of death?
So with that being
I would say not aging is the #1 cause of death, or death is the #1 cause of not aging, I guess.
said, today's call and today's
Are we doing the Patreon YouTube member stream tonight? Actually, I changed that to Sunday because I realized I have D&D tonight right after this stream. So it will be tomorrow. Tomorrow, I'm not going to do a regular stream tomorrow. So it will only be a Patreon and YouTube member stream tomorrow. We'll hang out and watch a movie. It'll be fun.
talk from the spaceship here, looking out over
I'll make sure, when I know about the time we're gonna do it, I'll like message on Patreon, or I'll at everyone on Discord, and I'll let them know when I'm gonna do it. And then once I actually start the stream, some hours later, whenever I decide, I'll add everyone as well.
the great planet Earth is going to be on inflammation. Now, grounding has a lot of benefits. A lot of
I hope
benefits.
you can do Nemesaur.
Number one
I've been
benefit
really enjoying the Patreon and YouTube member streams. There's a smaller audience. It's a little more intimate. It's casual. We just get to hang out and like watch movies and stuff together. It's fun. It's a good time.
is obviously reducing inflammation, because that's probably the most serious issue that we deal with. But it's also going to get into better sleep.
Not heart disease, not like even obesity. Like in the United States, the UK, Canada, obesity related illnesses are like one of the biggest killers. Heart disease, diabetes, type 2 diabetes specifically, stuff like that. Nope, it's all inflammation. Great. Dr. Callahan here certainly knows what he's talking about. He just doesn't just want your money.
And Riley, you touched on that earlier.
Yes.
About the better sleep. And you talked about the Schumann resonance. And if anybody's heard the term Schumann resonance, basically what that is the frequency that the Earth vibrates on. The Earth vibrates at a frequency referred to as the Schumann resonance. Well,
that doesn't do anything for you, sir. The obsession with frequency and vibration is so funny.
all coincidence.
You know why? I think it's because, like, when you think about frequency, it's a physics thing, right? You're measuring the time or whatever, the distance, the time between the waves in a given, like, thing. So that's, like, vaguely science-y. And I think, like, frequency is about the highest level science people like this understand, even at a basic level. Because you can visualize it, you know? You can visualize waves very easily. I can't because I have aphantasia. But, like, they can. So I think that that's why they're very, like, into that stuff. Because it's almost pseudo-scientific sounding when they talk about it. It's not. It's vibes-based. But, like, to them, I think it feels substantive.
Guess what? Our brain also runs on the Schumann resonance. Go figure.
Not a
Obesity is just a fancy name for inflammation. I'm not inflamed. I'm full of adipose tissue. That's not inflammation.
coincidence.
Yeah, after hundreds of thousands or however many years through the development of mankind being connected to the earth, we run on the earth frequency. So when you're running around with shoes on every day and you're disconnected from the earth and people are having issues with their circadian rhythm and they're up at 3 in the night and they can't figure out why, and they're completely
That's probably more likely because A, they have some sort of insomnia or something, but in this day and age, a lot of people have problems with their circadian rhythm because A, lots of artificial lighting, and B, we're often up and stimulating our brains right until the minute we go to bed, like scrolling on your phone or watching a movie or something. If you're having problems with your circadian rhythm, it can help an hour or 2 hours before bed to maybe put the phone down, stop scrolling as much, maybe read a book, maybe listen to some music or something that's like kind of chill. Just the constant brain stimulation, I don't think helps a lot of people.
out of touch with the earth cycle. And you have to understand the
I'm not
earth
saying it's bad, by the way, if you're fine with it. I'm just saying some people are affected by that more than others. Plenty of people aren't. I watch stuff until bed all the time, and I'm fine. But
is a small little
do
planet.
people have time for that? I mean, a lot of people, yeah, have an hour before bed. Although okay, a lot of people have kids. I forget that too. I don't have kids. So it's going to be different for different people.
That's spinning around a lot of other planets. They're spinning around a lot of other planets. And so in the Earth's atmosphere, to be calibrated to night and day and everything else, you need to be grounded. You need to be connected to
Rob Adler says, the problem is not being up. The problem is late at night is the only time you have to yourself and safe. Fun fact, that's actually an ADHD thing. Feeling like you like to be up late at night and only feeling safe at night and not liking to be up early or during the day and only feeling a sense of calm at nighttime. That's an ADHD thing. Just in case that piece of information is important for anyone to know.
the earth. And so grounding by bringing you back into that Schumann resonance definitely helps with circadian rhythms, but it's scientifically proven to have much better sleep. And that's another reason why the Earthing movie is such a profound movie, because it really gets into 20 to 21 scientific studies that were done at the University of California, San Diego, back in my old hometown. And they spent
It doesn't have to be. I'm not saying it's an exclusive behavior of people with ADHD, but it is one of the signs of ADHD. These things usually appear in clusters. It's not usually just the one-off thing. If that's your one thing that's kind of an ADHD thing, you might not have ADHD, but like, it is one of the factors.
millions of dollars on these studies because they wanted to have scientific evidence.
Like, even for people who are just night people, they might enjoy nighttime, but they don't only feel safe at night. They don't only, like, feel like they're comfortable at nighttime. That specifically is a quite ADHD thing. Maybe also trauma for certain things could do that. I don't know.
Show that people were sleeping better. And there's a lot of really good movies actually on YouTube about grounding. One is also a guy from Alaska who just goes into all these remote villages and grabs wire, plants it into the ground, and connects these people to grounding.
So another scam artist. Yay.
And everybody in the town is seeing benefits. One of the benefits was also reduction in snoring. A lot of the women reported that when their husbands were grounded, it reduced snoring. That was one of the key things that came out of that video.
Notice that it's reported. It's a self-reporting thing. They didn't quantify that in any way. They just asked if people felt a certain way. And I don't know if you know this, but if there's ever a study that's just like asking, how do you feel about this? All it's good for telling you is how people feel. It has no connection to the material reality. People are incorrect about their assumptions and perceptions constantly. You cannot trust people to self-evaluate without some sort of quantifying factor. You can't just vibes it, because people are wrong.
And the other thing that I think was brilliant was that the village doctor, it was only like 400 people, it was a small village, was very like anti-grounding. He just said, no, I don't buy into it. I don't believe it. But eventually, by the end of the movie, after seeing almost every single person in that village getting benefits from being connected to the earth, even that local doctor said, wow, okay,
Is he unfamiliar with the placebo effect? God.
I believe it. I can see it. And this is definitely for real. So, grounding talks about inflammation, which we've just talked about, reducing inflammation. When your body brings electrons into the body, a free radical cell, which is the damaging cell causing inflammation, is a cell missing an electron. So when
Okay. We've done this one video a lot, so let's move on to one of his other streams.
For your personal
Yeah, we've seen them show off
and
the
plasma
things
energy is
before.
90 roller your calves and push the
The plasma energy. Very real.
All right, people, man, thank you so much for your patience here today. Oh my God, I am basically I'm just learning how to get and go live right now. So we've just gone live and we're going to have a chat down here below. And Angie has just joined me on the other line here. Angie, I'm just trying to get this figured out right now. So if it's okay, I'll get back with you here if that's all right.
What's with the lighting? What, you don't like bisexual lighting?
So
No, I think it's just because it looks, I think some of the lighting in here is mood lighting to make it look like a spaceship, because that's the vibe he's going for. So I think some of that's bleeding into where he's sitting.
anybody, so we're here on today, we're talking about med beds, med bed technology.
Looks like he's trying 3D. Oh, he's like 4D, man! Hold on. He's 4D, man! 4D man was not in 3D, unfortunately. Though it would have been good if 4D man was in 3D. Anyway.
We've got a lot of technologies right now that are available that people can use. And let's just go ahead and bring a little bit of light over to our cyborg. There we go. So the premise of the
His cyborg? By his cyborg! To be clear, when he did that, he put a light on this, sorry, that's the wrong one. When he said, let's put a light on our cyborg, he put a light on the mannequin in the corner. That's just a chrome mannequin. That's just a mannequin with chrome paint. That's not a cyborg. That's not even what a cyborg would be. A cyborg would be a human mixed with robotics. This would be an android if it was alive, because it's got no meat parts. Zero meat. Android. But in this case, not an android. Mannequin. He kind of looks like the Pepsi Man. Am I crazy? They steal Pepsi Man? Pepsi Man! Anyway.
The call today is med bed technology. And what are med beds? A lot of people have seen that last video. So for anybody that's out there, as we start getting going with the chat, and anybody's free to ask questions, what is a med bed? Med beds are technically beds, kind of like something like behind me, except much more sophisticated, that are almost like a chamber that people can get into that are being used primarily off planet. And they basically, people can get into those.
Hey, fun fact, no human beings are off planet except for people currently in space stations circling the Earth. No humans are off planet in the way he is describing. I wish they were. It'd be cool. I like sci-fi. I think it would be great if human beings could exist on multiple planets. I think that's a cool idea. Practical? Certainly not right now. Maybe centuries or millennia from now if we survive? Maybe. But not right now!
And it can basically take care of just about any health and wellness condition. Through the work of James Rink, Dan Winter, Elena Denon, Michael Sala, there's a lot of people out there that have got a lot of documentation. People like James, Super Soldier Talks, have been in programs where he's used med beds. The
Fun fact, he has not used med beds. He's a delusional Nazi apologist.
um, uh, the 20 and back type med beds that reverse you back. And so we'll get into a little bit about that. But this is just a general question and answer. Logical Spark, hello, Food Goddess 50. Hi, Angie. Thank you for jumping on. Like I said, I haven't really done a lot of lives before, so there was a little bit of a learning curve to figure out how to get to the video and get it turned on. So I apologize, I'm running a few minutes behind. Um, but basically, medbed technology gets into what I would just categorize as off-planet based technology. Other extraterrestrial people who are highly intelligent and much more advanced than Earth have basically developed these types of technology. So it's sort of the technology of the future. And there's been a lot of talk about medbeds coming to the surface of the planet and being implemented and being unrolled. And hey, Benita, how you doing? Thank you for jumping on today. So, so the goal today is just to answer questions. James Rink, who's actually been in some of these programs that's used these, is actually a friend of mine. So I'm going to get in touch.
I've always gotten the vibe that he uses James Rink, by the way. I've said this before, but James Rink, I think, is probably a bad person, but I do actually believe he's quite delusional about a lot of the things he believes. Like, he does, I think, believe in a lot of this medbed stuff. He believes he really was an alien fighting, to help other people or whatever in another life. And I think Sean just takes super heavy advantage of that, and it's so gross. Oh, he just uploaded a video an hour ago. Great. Comment. Stop scamming.
All right, everybody. So I'm going to do a behind the scenes video, totally impromptu, but for anybody that's out there looking at USA Medbed or getting an idea what is...
excuse you, I thought it was called Medbed Anti-Aging and Spiritual Wellness, Sean. Why'd you change the channel name?
USA Medbed and what we do. We are a full medical equipment provider distributor, and we ship medical equipment all over the world. We ship a lot of stuff right now that's going to the Philippines, Guatemala, and we do a lot of domestic things, full hospital projects, and then we do a lot of health and wellness. And so this is...
It pisses me off that wasn't enough for him. You know what I mean? He sells legitimate medical stuff too, like actual beds, and I don't, like hospital beds and stuff like that. He already had a business selling medical equipment, but that wasn't enough. Doing a real thing wasn't enough. He has to start scamming people.
The office right here. This is where everything gets started. As you can see, got a lot of crystals and things here. So I'm going to take you on a tour through the building and give you an idea of what we do. And we'll start off first here with our crystals and crystal information. And, you can see that we've got crystals here from all over the world. A lot of...
Does it matter where they're from?
Beautiful crystals.
Like from a healing perspective?
We're getting big into selling these. And then we've got a lot of sacred geometry, other technology here. And things are a little bit crazy right now. There's a lot of people here from out of town. We do get a lot of visitors that...
Yeah, he's doing another tour video. He's done one before, but he just uploaded this.
Come in. So right now you can see...
Wow, people come from out of town for his scam equipment. And I'm not talking about the normal stuff. I know he sells actual medical equipment. I'm talking about the medbed stuff. I'm talking about the terahertz frequency fucking hair dryers. The woo-woo stuff.
Here we've got our conference room is a little bit messy, but you know what? I kind of like the...
I'll give him this. It looks more professional than Marcel's setup. Low bar, but still, it's there.
Behind the scenes stuff, because it really gives you an idea of how busy things are getting around here.
Did he say a real phone call?
Messy. And things are a little bit crazy right now. There's a lot of people here from out of town. We do get a lot of visitors that come in. So right now you can see here we've got our conference room is a little bit messy, but you know what? I kind of like the behind the scenes stuff because it really gives you an idea of how busy things are getting around here. Typically, this is a really nice showroom area, and it, you know, super nice. But right now, we've got so much medical equipment in here that the showroom area is getting a.
He's also often probably selling medical equipment not just to hospitals, but to private individuals who maybe have some sort of disability or mobility issues, whether due to their age or some other factor. Do you think he upsells them? Like, they'll come in and they'll buy, like, oh, I need like a medical bed, like an actual, you know, hospital bed, or I need something that'll help me get, you know, into the shower, or like a special setup for my shower. You know, any piece of like specialized medical equipment you might need. Do you think he then goes, by the way, I also sell shit that's gonna heal you, which is a scam. You know what I mean? Does he bring them in with the medical equipment and then use that as an opportunity to sell the bullshit to vulnerable people? Because I don't think he wouldn't do that. I don't know he does. But Sean, if you're doing that, stop it, Sean. Sean, stop it, Sean.
Little bit busy here, our tables. So we do a lot of doctor office. We do a lot. You can see here we've got a lot of hospital beds. And
I'm gonna be honest, this place looks crowded as fuck. If I was in the market for this stuff, I would walk in this room and walk right out. I would be like, this guy is incredibly sketchy. This showroom looks like shit. Terrible.
These are progressive beds. These beds really are one of the reasons that we're in health and wellness, because these beds right here are used for patients ICU, people with spinal cord injuries, paraplegic, quadriplegic, stroke. So when you say med beds and what's getting us into the med bed technology, a lot of it has to do with the fact that we do sell medical equipment. We deal with people every day that are seriously ill, and
they're all marks for you to take money from, to give empty promises to.
This is the highest level of patient care you're going to get in a hospital. These beds, brand new, are about $80,000. We sell them refurbished, nowhere near that, but we deal with very high-end medical equipment. Here's a couple more x-ray machines that just are going to find a home here later today. They are in the showroom temporarily.
I'm going to be honest, I would be very afraid to be around an x-ray machine that Sean refurbished if he refurbishes those as well. I just wouldn't want to be around that thing. I don't know what that's leaking onto me. Am I crazy? X-ray machines have a piece of radioactive material in them, right? That's how they work? Not crazy, right? I just don't know if I'd want to hang around in a room with this guy when he's got something with fucking radioactive shit in it. Normally it'd be fine in a hospital, but I don't trust him.
We've got some bariatric beds in here. Anybody that calls up that hears Malaya, this is her spot right here, her little spot. And we're basically getting her set up. And then, of course, beds. We've got Kyle, our warehouse guy here. This is the wellness area.
This is your bullshit sci-fi room. Yeah, okay, so I'm assuming he brings people and he's like, oh, here's your bed or whatever. You need some bed? Oh, and come back here. This is our wellness area. Doesn't it look so legitimate? Look at these purple lights.
First, what
superpowers would I want? Invulnerability, shape-shifting, Plastic Man powers. Plastic Man powers would probably be pretty all-encompassing of the kind of powers that I would want. We'll go Plastic Man.
We'll do is we'll go in here first. This is the warehouse. A lot of incoming, outgoing medical equipment here. You can see we've got a lot of equipment that's getting ready to go out. A lot of this is going to the Philippines. All patient monitors. You can see the number of exam tables that we've got in stock right now. Massive amount of these. Stretchers that just came in.
Not the ability to make things into cheese, no. Why would I want to do that? It would turn into a King Midas situation. I don't want to accidentally turn a bunch of shit into cheese that I don't want to be cheese.
Hospital beds going out, ENT chairs, more stretchers, a lot of medical equipment. This is a C-arm right here. So this is kind of a staging warehouse. It's not the biggest one you'll ever find, but we've got other space that we're going to start moving more stuff into.
I could turn the moon into cheese. Is it going to be the same density and mass as the moon? Because if not, that's going to cause problems.
Yeah.
Ominous. Creepy. Hokey. Bullshit. Oh, wow. Did you ask if that person was cool being filmed during their bullshit treatment?
The wellness technology room. And then we're going to go over to...
There's a spacesuit on the fucking door. Hold on. Let's not skim past that. That is a costume spacesuit. Digital Picante, thanks for following.
And we're going to go over to our other areas here. Most popular place in the place, obviously, is always going to be the kitchen. Bunch of food and stuff there. This is our other film production and room here where we do
I don't think I've seen this yet.
a lot of video. We're setting up other stations. This is our grounding anti-aging station. You could see we had people in the wellness room using the technologies, but we've got different backdrops and things that we can shoot here. So this is kind of like almost like a production room, but we'll turn it in eventually into a...
You know how all legitimate medical centers have a production room for their videos? I don't know if you know this, but like hospitals don't normally need to like be like, hey, come to our hospital to get treatment, because people know that. You normally only have to advertise scams. At least to this level.
Private bathroom here. And then bang, more medical equipment. This is all stuff going to the Philippines. Anesthesia machines, patient monitors, and surgical lights, all different kinds of equipment.
I am so curious how much money he's making on the legitimate medical equipment versus the woo-woo stuff, because this is a nice office. I don't think he's taking very good care of it. I think it looks messy and disorganized, but like the office itself is not a bad office. Like this looks like it would actually maybe be a little expensive to rent out, depending on the area. So I am very curious how much money he's making and what percentage is the legitimate business and what percentage is the scam stuff. I know medical equipment is extremely expensive. I'm just wondering, is he mostly making money on that and he's trying to get the other thing off the ground, or is he quite successful in scamming as well?
Administration office, which is a real nice little office right here. Nice setup. Baños.
El Baño.
This is the room here with the plasma spheres.
Sorry, we're closer than that, Sean. 2 bañas.
One of our wellness rooms right here.
I'm sure it's very relaxing to have your random fucking guy come in while you're trying to do your relaxing thing and start fucking filming you for a YouTube video. Very relaxing. Also, yes, those are plasma balls. Those are literally, like, Spencer's Gifts plasma balls that are next to the bed because he claims that putting plasma balls on either side of your head will create some kind of plasma field that'll heal you. Again, it's nonsense. It's bullshit. Where's the lava lamp? Oh, honey, I know you're joking, but he has lava lamps that he does the same thing with. He has lava lamps. They're all around. I'll see if I can see one. There were some in the other room that had the spacesuit hanging on the door. He unironically does use lava lamps similarly for the vibes.
One of our wellness rooms right here. This is our bioscan room. Oh, awesome.
Oh, this is so funny. I showed this last time. If you don't know what the bioscan room is, this is absolute bullshit. This, I think, is actually to the point where it's such false advertising he should be reported. I'm not going to do it because I'm a shit poster that just makes fun of people on the internet. It's other people's job to do with this information what they will. But, where are those headphones? I have some headphones. I guess I don't know off the top of my head where they are. But basically, this is, they put headphones on you, and then they claim that the vibrations, like the audio from this, will scan your whole body, like a full body scan. Now, I don't know if you know anything about, body scans. They don't use headphones. What he is claiming these do is literally impossible. This is literally a scam. The man in this chair right now, if he's not just one of the people who work here that's put there for the video, he is actively in the middle of being scammed. I don't know how much money he's charging for people to get this quote-unquote scan, but it's not scanning dick or shit and nothing in between. It is not scanning anything. It is headphones that play some sort of binaural sounding audio bullshit, and then fake stuff comes up on the screen. This is this is fraud. This is legitimate fraud. I am so confident in this. This is not my opinion. This is not my opinion. Full liability. This is fraud. Sean, you are committing fraud. Or if you're maybe I'm off base. I'll even cover my base on this. Sean, if you really believe this, you're the victim of fraud as well, and you're perpetrating on other people. But assuming you know that this is bullshit, this is criminal fraud. And you should be in fucking prison for fucking with people's health like this. Look what happened to Elizabeth Holmes. You think you have as much money as Elizabeth Holmes? Asshole. Like, I'm dead serious about this, too. This is sick. He's basically telling people they're getting full body scans when it's no such thing. Like, real scans of a body require, like, a whole MRI machine or, like, an fMRI, which are multi-million-dollar pieces of equipment. If you could scan a body with headphones, every hospital on the planet would be doing it. He's full of shit. He's a bad guy, and he should feel bad about himself.
Guys doing a scan?
Yes, we are.
Oh, awesome.
No, they're not. They're pretending to take money from this guy, as you know, Sean. Do you think the fish outfit takes away from the righteous indignation, or does it enhance it?
Wow.
I'm currently looking for the nerves in his neck.
As you can see, there's a lot going on. One more room here, which is another room, ultrasound equipment, more x-ray equipment. You know, like I said, we basically build and set up and equip entire hospitals all over the world. And then ICU beds, and then of course the wellness technology. So when you say USA MedBed, technically, we do a lot of hospital beds, sell hospital beds literally by the thousands, but it's the health and wellness technology.
Stick with that, Sean. Stick with the legitimate business. Stick with legitimately selling refurbished supplies.
Technology.
Because that's not illegal.
Where the future is, and it's the fact that we deal every day with people with ALS, MS, quadriplegic, paraplegic.
Oh, and you're taking advantage of many of them. You must feel real good about that. What state is he in? Richmond, Virginia. Who's the Attorney General of Virginia? I wonder if they'd like this. Should I send this to the Attorney General of Virginia?
That's really branched us into the wellness category. So if you want to know who is USA MedBed, my name is Sean Callahan, and I'm the owner here, or the president of the company.
I'll be honest, this is a very personal thing. I've been feeling a severe lack of agency in my own life, you know? And that's never a fun thing. So maybe it would make me feel better to legitimately go out of my way and use my own agency to stop someone who is harming a variety of people instead of just shitposting about it. Hmm.
And this is what we are. This is what we do. This is a little behind the scenes, and you can see totally not staged because my desk is a mess, and you know,
Did I
everything's
notice the wallet vac next to the scam scanner? Wallet vac, what's that? Like a thing for the money for your card? Is that what you're talking about?
impromptu, but that's kind of how the way we roll. So if you're in need of wellness center technology, you can see we're very, very much on the edge of that. I've got a lot of videos out there
Take
with
him down like I did John Doyle. John Doyle's doing just fine. All I did was get him to stop making t-shirts, which is a small victory in the grand scheme of things, especially because he got everything else he wanted.
the equipment that we've got.
Ooh, there we go. What is this? OAG, State of Virginia, U.S. I'll save this and I'll take a look at this probably tomorrow. Tomorrow's I do have the Patreon live stream, but like I'm not doing a regular stream. So maybe instead of a regular stream tomorrow, I'll look into this and see how to report this guy. That'll be fun.
We source it from all over the world, from some of the best physicists, scientists on the planet. Very powerful technology, Tesla technology, and incorporating that
He
with
said it. He said Tesla. He said the T word.
natural healing energy, which would be things like the crystals behind me. So stop by our websites. We've got a lot of them. I'll have them down in the description.
Like he's throwing everything at the wall to see what people will pay for.
Healthy Life Technology and USA MedBed, or a lot of the health and wellness. The number one used medical equipment is our one of our many medical equipment websites. And subscribe, share, join our channels, call us if you need anything, 804-49.
I'll cut off there because I don't want to give people their phone number, even if it is public and they're a business. I wonder if he made it so people can't see my comment yet. Because I called him a scammer. I said, stop scamming. Can someone check this video and see if my comment is still there for you, or did he hide me? Because I can't tell if I'm hidden. Someone click on that. Is my comment still there, or did he already remove me? Just curious. Also, maybe thumbs up my comment telling him to stop scamming. Do not harass him, though.
With him. I'm in touch
Do not interact. I am just curious if my thing is there.
right now with quite a few different people who have like firsthand experience and more firsthand knowledge on these med
Still
beds
there?
and
Hell yeah.
when they're coming out. So we're going to
I
get
give that an hour before it's off.
into that. And then also, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the technologies that are available right now. I guess I'm trying to figure out how to position myself here. Camera left, camera right, all these different things. Oh man. So those are all subjects that we'll tackle in future calls. So, leave as many questions as you want. I'll try to answer the ones I can, to the best of my knowledge. And anything we don't, we'll have other people, and I'll have other people out there that will be able to, get on lives or do podcasts with that can get into more of the medbed information. But if you've seen some of the last videos that we've done, there's a lot of technology that's out there right now that's very powerful technology that can address a whole wide host of different things
It's so powerful.
that are going on, and we'll talk about some of those today here in our little studio, our med.
Rob says he needs money he needs something with a stupid profit margin, which tells me he's embezzling his real business. We don't know that. We don't know that. I'm not making that claim. I'm not making that claim. Although it would be funny if he didn't even care about all this woo-woo bullshit, but he was just selling things internationally and he wanted to avoid tariffs or taxes or something, so somehow he gets the money another way and then he launders it through this bullshit business. I'm not saying that's what's happening. I'm just saying that wouldn't be a bad plot for a movie or something. Where someone like is making a bunch of money in their legitimate business, but they don't want to pay taxes or something on it, so they get the money via some back channel and then slowly filter it into their business through this like side hustle bullshit. Again, I'm not saying that's happening here. I'm not making that claim. I just think it would be funny. Like a way stupider version of Breaking Bad.
Bed lab studio, our off-planet space station, if you will. We have a lot of these technologies here. We just had people here actually today that came in. One thing that I'll say is you're always welcome to come in and use any of these technologies anytime you want. We just ask that you set an appointment so we have somebody available that can help walk you through them, show you how they work, and then get you in, get you out. So we're in Richmond, Virginia, and there's a lot of technologies that are out there which are very, very, very useful. So that is really exciting. Angie, I'm going to try to get you set up as a moderator. Can I do that? Oh my God, add as a moderator. Look at that. Talk and chew bubble gum at the same time. So I have to quick pause there, but basically, um, I knew that there was technology out there and I wanted to find as much as what I could get. And so that's what led me down this search. And it's like, when you start seeing dual plasma energy systems inscribed in hieroglyphics, and you
Hey, Sean, where in hieroglyphics do you see dual plasma energy systems? I would love to know what hieroglyphics he thinks says that. It's a pictogram that's like a circle and it's got little fuzzies in it. That's clearly plasma.
you start seeing like all these different things and you learn about the work of Nikola Tesla, you're like, oh my God, there's actually been technology out for thousands of years that's kind of come off the surface planet and then has gone away and has come back. A lot of it, as we all know, is kind of related to the times that we're in, right? So that's kind of where we're at. That's, medbed technology does get into off-planet technology, extraterrestrial technology, and we
The
are
dendrolites, likely. Is that the hieroglyphic or the pictogram that kind of looks like a light bulb, but it's a flower from the area that woo-woo crazy people have started saying is a light bulb?
in a time frame right now
Because they're desperate for the world to not be what it is. It is that? Okay, thank you.
where we are looking at getting some type of disclosure. Like there's going to be some type of disclosure that'll let everybody know that there's a lot of really positive races of other beings that are out in the galaxy, in the universe, and some malevolent and some benevolent, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot going on out in the cosmos. There's a lot of people.
I bet, buddy. Think of all the extraterrestrials you could scam. Oh, my comment is the top-rated comment. That's crazy. Insane. Okay, what else is on some of his websites? We've looked at some of these before. Oh, look! There's a lady wearing the spacesuit, and she looks so happy, doesn't she? She looks thrilled to be there. Also, she posted feet. That's a shame. Don't do that on the internet. Disclaimer, the products in this video are not classified as medical devices and should not ever be substituted for getting professional medical advice for a medical condition. We make no claims that anyone will achieve the results talked about in this video. Sean, this isn't going to cover your ass because you're still making medical claims. This is the same vibe as Pee-Pee being like, not financial advice. Not medical advice. Anyway, here's a big ad about how you should buy our medical advices, asterisk, not medical devices. Ooh, absolute cinema. Wow, we started with a zoom in on a plasma ball. Wow. Fucking Godard is jealous. Ooh, and then a really ridiculous transition. Is it 2004 already?
All right, so we're here back again. Want to do a video to go over some of the most popular products that we sell, give you a little bit of an overview of how these products work, some of the things that people are talking about, the technology.
Sean, do you like mine? Do you like mine? My father-in-law built it for me. Do you like it? And I wouldn't charge people hundreds of dollars for it because it doesn't do anything, because it's literally like copper tubing fucking put around a frame of wood. Do you like it? It doesn't heal anyone, but it's a funny prop that I use to make fun of you because you're full of shit and you're scamming people. Are you having fun yet, Sean? I am. I'm having fun. Heal you? The power of scams compels you! The power of scams compels you! Did it work? I hope not, because it's not a medical device. It's copper tubing fitted into wood.
And some of the feedback that we're getting. And what I did here is kind of put out some of the most popular items.
I need a young skeptic and an old skeptic.
That are, probably the ones that are most cost effective. So
it's like The Exorcist, but it's me and James Randi, and he's Father Karras in this scenario, and we're just berating an awful person.
I'm going to go through each one of these and do a little bit of a
Your mother shills scams in hell.
description, and then if you want to
I'm not very funny.
go to the website, you'll sort of have a basic understanding of what they do and how they work. Now, I'll start here from the left and we'll go up to the top after. But this is the plasma energy water.
We've seen him talk about the plasma water before. It's literally just a container of water he tapes a thing to that he says is plasma, and that'll energize the water and do health claims that he shouldn't be making.
And this is really one of the most popular products that we've got. Now, these little vials right here are basically plasma energy water. And each one of those has a different set of energy.
To be clear, Sean, do you energize those by like putting them next to like the plasma balls that you can buy on Amazon or at a Spencer's Gifts? Is that how you energize them, with plasma?
Energies that's in it. But basically what happens is that there's a process that uses something called a GANS. And a GANS...
Get ready, guys, because when I get sued, you're going to have to pay for the lawsuit. This is your fault.
...stands for
okay.
gas in an atomic nanosolid state. And basically there's a process that takes months where they're able to infuse plasma energy into the water. Now, once the plasma energy has been infused in the water, these little vials are basically going to last forever because water retains memory. And
oh no, homeopathy! We're crossing the scams.
So, being that water can retain memory, when you buy these little vials here, you just tape them onto a clear plastic, or in my case, clear glass container. These were less than $20 over at Walmart, and I like it because it has the sealed lid. You don't have to worry about dust getting in. You have a nice little...
Now he's just reviewing a water container.
Spout right there you can pour it with. Your body will absorb the frequency or the energy that it needs.
Your body will absorb the frequency. What does it mean? No one knows, but it's provocative. Ashley with 50 bits.
I've got a degree in homeopathic medicine!
You've got a degree in baloney.
They don't miss. They don't miss. Lance with 100 bits says, here, pass this on to legal Devon Eagle when you need it.
So if there was...
He practices in New York, and this guy's in Virginia, and I'm in Michigan. So, I also couldn't afford Devon. I would imagine his law firm's rates are insane.
One for, we'll just say Alzheimer's, and I don't have Alzheimer's.
It must cure Alzheimer's. I don't have it, and I drink it. Cue the clip of Lisa being like, this rock gets rid of bears.
Then I would be able to, that would just pass through. I wouldn't really need it. One thing also I'm just going to point out, as long as I'm
Legal Eagle is DC. I thought he worked, really, did he change jurisdiction? I thought that he was licensed to practice in New York.
doing this right here, is that you're going to see right here, I have the words love, heal, and thank you that I hand wrote that I put on there. Now, one thing is about...
My water's a masochist, so I tell it, it's a bad liquid, a very bad liquid.
Water is you can change the
tastes brattier.
Molecular structure with water with your thoughts. So you can...
He has multiple licenses, makes sense.
Actually write the words love, heal, and all these different things on the water, and it'll actually change the molecular structure and make the water more of like a snowflake, a beautiful snowflake.
No, it won't. It literally does nothing to the water. You taped a vial to the outside of it. It's not doing anything practically to the water. It's still the same water.
Rather than a blob or something that would be a little bit more mundane. Now, we also have some of these geometric spheres. These are handmade by different artisans. This is a gentleman right here named Jason.
My friend, it's like a lawn decoration or something you would put like on a shelf next to your books. It's aesthetically fine. It doesn't do anything else.
And as most folks know, I did some interviews, went out of town, got sick, moved, had some computer issues with sites going.
Wait a minute, how could you possibly get sick? Aren't you drinking your plasma water and doing your scans and your plasma ball bullshit? Why are you getting sick? Why are you getting sick? You're surrounded by infinite healing.
Down, websites going down, a lot of stuff going on. But I didn't really get a chance to follow up. But this gentleman makes these, and I put
artisans. Ooh, artisan.
crystals inside of them, and I've done videos on these before, and they come in different sizes.
You've seen something like that at Target recently. I've seen stuff like this at like a Pier 1 Imports. It's decor. It's decor.
Largest one right here. There's also a smaller one that I believe is I think this is 15. They come in also 10, and I want to say 4 or 5. And what I do is I stack them, so I will stack other ones on top. But this throws off a positive energy field. And
what do you even mean by a positive energy field? What kind of energy? Positive in what way? It just sounds nice. Just grifts people who don't think further than the way words make them feel. Which is horrifying to me, by the way. I don't know if you know this. People who are like that scare the shit out of me. How is that even life?
And if you put crystals in there, it helps emanate that crystal energy, which is also phenomenal. Now, I love these. Number one, they look good. This one right here is one that has the tensor rings in the middle, and you can put the actual crystal in the middle of the tensor rings, and these then will basically take the...
You can put whatever you want in there. It's not going to do anything.
...energy of that crystal and send it out in all directions about 150 feet. And I think in some cases, if they're larger, it can actually push it further, but you can take the energy...
I'd love to know where he's getting these measurements. Like, is he just pulling them out of his ass, or did he actually do some kind of bullshit experiment where he had someone walk and be like, where do you feel the energy? How about a double-blind study, Sean? Let's do a double-blind study on people and where they think the energy field begins and ends.
The crystal. Now, it's phenomenal for manifestation. It's phenomenal for sending the energy, the crystal, in all directions. Something like rose quartz, which is healing, loving energy.
It's not. It's a rock.
I have some.
It's a cool rock. Respect to cool rocks. But it's a rock.
With amethyst, I have some with lapis lazuli.
The only rocks that are going to have a pretty big impact you are ones that are decaying at a rate that causes ionized radiation to emit. So, you know, like plutonium. Now, that's a rock that's going to do something to you. I don't think you're going to like the effects, though. I don't think you'll feel very energized after the radiation poisoning.
Agate. But these are phenomenal, and I love them because it's sacred geometry. So the thing about it that I really like is the fact
I like that we just say everything is sacred geometry now in these fields. Look, it's got shapes. That's sacred geometry. That what that means? It's got loop-de-loops. That's a sacred geometry.
it really looks cool. Like I find these things beautiful. I really do. I love crystals, and
This has nothing to do with anything, but you have a poor aesthetic taste if you like this. I've decided to be petty today. I don't know why.
spherical crystals, obviously with the energy going in all directions, to be able to have something like this that looks good in your living room, and also has functional
Broha says I wrote a research paper in high school on sacred geometry. How was it?
use is also really cool. So there's a couple different versions of these, but they'll both be on the website. These are multi-wave oscillators. Okay, so these basically have a lot of history that goes back about 100 years, well, actually more than 100 years. Nikola Tesla finding
Nikola Tesla was in a relationship with a bird. The guy, look, Nikola Tesla had many ideas that were great. Alternating current, that's a big thumbs up, buddy. Just like, for instance, Isaac Newton and the fucking Principia. Good shit, bro. Your laws of like motion and stuff, pristine. But you know what else he was into? Biblical numerology and alchemy, trying to turn lead into gold, which he never would be able to do, but they thought it could. Tesla, similarly, helping develop alternating current and helping advance the field of electricity and stuff. Great. He also believed a lot of crackpot things. For instance, especially later in his life, he was trying to get wireless energy to be practical, and it's just not. Based on the laws of physics, it's not. Ugh. I'm just very sick of the Tesla fetishists, to be honest. Toreador says, hey, if you knew what I did with this cute crow guy I met the other day, you'd call me a mad genius too. Benikagami says, I'm begging people to think through BS tech claims. Take aliens, for example. Any alien that came to Earth either had to break physics as we know it, or made flying colonies so self-sustaining they lasted centuries. In either case, they would be so advanced they wouldn't really need anything from us, or they could easily annihilate the human race, and you have no prayer of resistance. Like, if they can manipulate gravity, they can destroy stars and planets. Yeah, think about things. Think about how things function.
that he was finding all kinds of beneficial things happening in his lab. You know, a lot of things were happening with people there. They were getting a lot of really positive healing benefits. And then also,
where are you even getting that claim from?
Fruits and vegetables were lasting 3 or 4 times longer. Started doing some work, passed off to George Slakovsky. Now, each one of these rings is a frequency. This is a frequency, this is another frequency. Each one of these rings, and they're called multi-wave oscillators because they figured out that when people are not feeling good or they're sick, the oscillation rate of their cell starts to decline.
No, I'm just going to put a no on that. No.
And so the goal of these was to do multifold, but number 1, send positive frequencies in the body. Number 2, restore the cell's natural oscillation rate.
What I find so funny, by the way, is even if what he was saying about this oscillation bullshit was true, why would you think that that was the cause of illness and not the result? You know what I mean? Like, what if getting sick did that to your cells? I don't think it does, but what if it did and it was just because you're sick? That doesn't mean reversing a symptom is going to cure you of an illness. Like, it doesn't even make sense within their own internal logic.
And number 3, put energy back into the body. So I said earlier on another video.
Would I like to see a list of radium healthcare products from the past? Starts on page 15. Interesting. Oh no! Oh no! Arium radium tablets. Description: 42 tablets of genuine radium contained in a tin container. Manufacturer claims. Several advertisements for this product made the following claims. Radium ends agony of rheumatism, neuritis, neuralgia, and gout. Radium reduces inflammation. Radium reduces inflammation. Relieves pain and renews the energy and vigor of youth. Recent investigation shows that the pep, energy, endurance, and nerve focus of the average man past 40 may be increased by 100% by getting into a system this marvelous restorative radium power of Arium. Yeah, that's not good. Has anyone seen, what's it called? Atomic Cafe? Gives me the vibe of some of the stuff you would have seen in Atomic Cafe. But, like, before the Soviet Union got their own nukes. More radium tablets. Claim it treats anemia, gout, arthritis, diabetes, infections. Wow, was gout like a big deal in the early 20th century? Did everyone fucking have gout? How much organ meat were you people eating? I know gout can be caused by other things as well. Radioactive solar pad. Oh, that's funny. That's actually a little similar to the stuff that Sean is selling. To use this item, the pad contains radium or uranium ore, less expensive alternative to radium, were to be charged in the sun and then applied to the body. Why would it need to charge the radium? It's already charged. It's radium. Oh no, radioactive toothpaste! This manufacturer claims that this item increases the defenses of the teeth and gums. Cells are loaded with new life energy. The destroying effect of bacteria is hindered. You know, if this is actually radium, I will believe that it probably kills bacteria. I'll give you that. I'll give you that. Oh. Okay. Anyway, let's go back to the video.
When you're 35 years old, your body's running at 75 millivolts. When you're 70 years old, your body's running at 35 millivolts. So in addition to sending that healing energy into the body, you're also sending electrical energy in the body. And as we all know, we all run on electricity.
No, we don't. We run on chemical energy. Just because we use electricity in our body for certain signaling, like within our nervous system, we do not run on electricity. We use chemical energy in our bodies.
And then all these different rings now are beautiful frequencies that are the beneficial ones, golden mean frequencies. Now, this is just a small sample of multiple different oscillators that I've got on the website. I actually have a pendant around here somewhere, which is...
Let's look at some of the pricing on these, by the way. What is he selling these for? Seen the terahertz frequency ones. What does he call these stupid things? He has grounding towels. LifeWave patches. Is this it? No, the Tesla coil discs are slightly different, though they might be the same idea. Tesla healing coils? Is this one of them? No. Multi-wave oscillators? Oh, look, he used an AI image. Look at this shitty AI image of Nikola Tesla. No, these aren't quite the same. Did he just change the design, basically? Is it still supposed to be the same thing? Because he's calling them oscillators still here, right? Am I crazy?
Also a multi-wave...
I think he just made them look more official, so instead of being, you know, typing like this, which of course looks stupid, this looks like a scam. That's why it's hilarious. So it looks like he made them look a little more official by making them, you know, more like sheets of the metal applied to some larger piece of metal, which does look a little more legitimate. It's just not legitimate. But I get from an aesthetic perspective why this looks better than this.
So we're using the new Tesla, the new...
Yeah, he's calling them new, so it must be. How much is he charging for this crap? Oh! He's charging $4,395 for a set. Once again, Sean, fuck you. Fuck you, Sean. Sean, fuck you. You're a terrible human being, and I wish hell was real.
Oscillator, which I got to get that on there, which I wear every day. And of course, I put it down somewhere. That's typical me. But these will just run off the natural energy in the atmosphere.
AKA, it's literally just copper tubing we hung to a thing. Fine.
So these do not actually plug in. Now, these are the smaller set. There is a larger set. I put these on each side of my bed.
Mr. Blast says, mine are only $2,999.99. Save money now. There you go.
You put them on each side of your couch. You can have one on each side of your chair to desk. The bigger ones.
If anyone missed it, Mr. Blast is who made this for me as a prop. He also made the Deems device that I have, which there was another scammer, last name of Deems, that basically invented, air quotes. It's like a metal tube like this that has ferret like magnets all in the interior, and he claims that waving it around you like heals you. Another scammer. They're all over the place.
Obviously, they're going to throw off a little more energy, and they've got a couple more rings to them. And so these are ones that they would actually be referred to as antenna, multi-wave oscillator antennas, but they have a lot of potential health benefits. And Lakovsky basically was able to turn around just about every patient in the hospital that he was sent to. He sent them in New York. And these were made in Europe through 1930 to 1939. And they had amazing results with these. And unfortunately, Mr. Lakovsky, when he went to New York after all this technology was doing so well, was accidentally hit by a car. And
Oscillator can't fix that.
That pretty much ended that, and it sort of went to dark. However, Mr. Lakovsky was from Russia, and even though he did a lot of his work out of France, the Eastern Europeans really know this technology well. A lot of this
ferret magnets. I was gonna say, oh, okay, you already said, yeah, I was gonna say ferrous something, and then I stopped myself and corrected to magnets, because it's not just ferrous material, he put magnets in it. But I was gonna say ferrous material, which is what magnets attract, so I just misspoke.
Technology actually comes from Eastern Europe, because they obviously had the technology given to them, and with Mr. Lakovsky, that basically
magnets are magnetic. Iron, cobalt, and nickel are ferrous. Words.
Kind of stayed within their culture. So multi-wave oscillators, I love these. Now I'm going to show you the BioShield stations. The BioShield stations basically are this is basically a stretchable, flexible cotton fabric that has wire, silver thread. All that thread right there is silver. And if you look right here, it doesn't plug into the electric. Those plugs are plastic. It plugs into your grounding.
This is the $800 thing he's selling people. I believe it's the $800 one. It could be wrong, but this is one of the grounding things he sells, like the one I showed earlier that's $800.
Outlet. And so what it does is it brings electrons into the body. It grounds the body and pulls EMF radiation out. And in addition to that, it also has far infrared. Now, the far infrared would be in the pillows. They have a pillowcase that they make, and the bigger one.
Can I just point out a grievance I have? Books and movies made evil people out to be so much smarter than they are. Kind of pissed off.
Which is a little harder to display the way we're doing it, would be the anti-aging bed cover. The anti-aging bed cover is one of our top sellers. We have been selling those a lot. And why do we sell those so much? Because basically all you do is go to bed, you lay down in bed, and it's non-different than if you're laying down on the ground. So
have I seen his Tesla ozone ray? Because it's just a violet wand. No, we'll take a look after this, or in a little bit.
Bringing in the Earth's...
Nah, we can pause right now, actually. What is it called? You say, Tesla ozone ray. Control F, ozone. There it is, Tesla ozone ray. Let's take a look at this. Oh my god! Come on, play.
Use the Tesla coil machine.
Oh, this guy's a scammer too. This guy is the guy that provides the med bed things. What the thing that says Backstar on it? That's his company. So this guy's a scammer that's like a higher level than Sean. This guy's like, if Sean is like the scam dealer, this guy's the scam distributor. He's a level higher. You know what I mean?
Yeah, this ozone machine, we have kind of examined Sean's.
Tori says, haha, that's a violet wand. That's for e-stim play. It's technically a sex toy. Are you serious? Are you serious? This is a sex toy? I gotta look this up.
Shoulders, spinal alignment, different things that we went over.
Next, are they gonna bring out a Hitachi?
That was the first process of...
Let me look. What the fuck? Yeah, these are all labeled as, at best, they're labeled as sexual wellness, which is just a way to say it's a sex toy. That's so funny. Now,
how we heal the heart. So,
more like heal your heart on. That's a stretch.
This will be used in the same areas that were examined. So we focus on chest up, shoulder.
Does it like provide, is it like, does it shock you? Is it like they're zappy? Okay, so it provides like little light shocks. Okay, I got you.
Basically chest up, even in the back. Shoulder blades and up. I went over, he's got a little bit of locked shoulders. On both sides.
When you saw it on American Pickers, it was a quack cure for pain and hair loss. I did see some older stuff that looks like they were developed to be a bogus medical thing. So it's probably been adopted by the BDSM community because it happens to provide light shocks, which, you know, at least someone found a real use for it. That's kind of funny. You think the person who invented it would find it hilarious that now it has a legitimate use and it's, like, to make people horny?
Sides, and it looks like there was some left damage. It could be from driving a lot with one arm, different than the other arm. So there's an imbalance, as I quickly saw, which is normal. That's why we focus on the chest up. If you get your...
Corey with 50 bits says it makes your skin feel like intense static cling and warm. It doesn't zap or isn't supposed to. It basically scrambles nerves. It's basically a handheld version of one of those lightweight plasma orb things. Oh, okay, I can imagine. Okay. Like the feeling if you have like a really intense... Okay. I can picture that. Not picture it. I can imagine the feeling.
Eyes to understand kind of what I'm looking at. It's very easy to see that that these things that cause imbalances are visually seen and visually felt. These things are seen and felt with the hands, knowing where you need to find the stagnation, where you need to find the issues. You have to use your hands to find the stiffness and stagnation. Everything should be supple like a baby. So in regards to how babies are supple, easily move.
Let's not talk about how supple babies are. What?
Move soft. So those are the healing types of things we look for. Anything that's tight, stiff, we want to use the tools at hand and break it up. And then after, we call this getting sauced. Once we sauce them up and do all this stuff, we start with the Tesla ray right here. And we're going to do the whole chest. I mean, I'm talking neck. Everything is locked into this the sternum area with the collarbones. You know, we're opening up this area behind and around, and that's where we carry our stress. So we're going to do that right now.
Can you plug that thing in real quick and just...
Yeah.
Because that thing is, like, super cool.
Yeah, so let's see here.
Agent 00 Soul says, my question is, why does he look so unhealthy? Hey, he's peak health. How dare you?
So, get it warmed
Travis says, please don't do this, by the way. You're not supposed to go near your neck.
up here.
Oh, so they're actually potentially endangering people. Great.
Take some time to get warmed up. There we go.
And this thing is concentrating energy to the end of it, right?
Yeah, this is concentrated.
It can hurt your heart? Oh, boy.
Electrical.
Yeah, that makes sense. Your heart uses, like, electrical signaling to pace itself. Yeah. Yeah, that's one of the reasons that when your heart is out of the correct rhythm, they shock it, is to, like, kind of reset its system. In movies, they do it when people's heart stops, but that doesn't really help when a heart stops. Those are used for when a heart is, like, out of rhythm, stuff like that. So yeah, they could fucking defibrillate someone. Oh, fuck. Not as intense, I would imagine, as, like, a full defibrillator, but that's still not good.
This is actually volt.
Travis says, you start with extremities and low voltage. He has this thing turned so high to buzz that much. Oh, boy.
This is the spectrum of voltage, if you can't see it
I'm
very
gonna
well.
turn the light off real quick just so you can kind of see that that's throwing like a purple ray or a purple energy field.
That is an arc of plasma. Toreador says it's a hollow glass tube with, I think, argon or neon in it, so it's purple plasma, thus the violet wand name. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, this violet ray is the highest frequency, so we're giving the body the purple light.
Is he gonna do it to himself or not?
Remember the song Purple Rain?
Yep.
But it actually is a lot like that, you know? This is electrical.
Did he just say it's like purple rain? Like literally just because it's purple?
Healing, and no one created it. This comes free in our environment.
Purple pain, purple pain.
Bolts hit the ground. This is actually the real electrician. So back in the day, before what we heard as an electrician, if someone fixes the issues in your house and electricity, this is the real electrician.
This is the real electrician?
Being a real electrician right now, I'm gonna heal.
Is he saying that electricity is fake and this is real electricity? He thinks plasma's real electricity and normal electricity is not real? What?
Body with the electricity.
Awesome. So that's our next.
Like, it's fucking ionized plasma. What? What are you talking about? What?
Step right now.
Yeah, that's the next step. We're going to go ahead and hit the areas, and there is a shocking if you're anytime this is far away from the skin. There is a little bit of a shocking feel, but if you connect right to it, I can install it on his back by switching my finger to his back.
Oh no!
So this only lasts 10 minutes, so we'll see you on the other side.
Awesome.
Yeah, that's... That doesn't seem great.
And it looks like there was some left damage. It could be from driving a lot with one to his back.
This is literally the same video. They just added extra stuff at the end. Yeah.
Good bass, the best bass that they're...
Literally the same video, just with added advertisements. That's so funny. How much is he charging for these? He's charging $1,295. Let me look up how much these cost on, like, a sex toy website. The Violet Wand store. It looks like an entire, like, professional kit for this. That's, like, like a manufactured sex toy that is this. That has all the stuff you need for it is $200. Which isn't, like, a cheap sex toy. But it's $200, and it's advertising itself as what it is. Basically a little thing that's, you know, for a kink, and it'll give you a little zap. This guy's marking the price up how many times? 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. 6 times? More than 6 times the price? The margin he's making on this is insane. Scammer. Scam-ass piece of shit. What other stuff's on the website that we haven't looked at? We've seen the bed covers. He has foam mattresses. The bioscanner thing is hilarious because this is the scammiest scam thing they do. And this also comes from Backstar, the guy that we just saw with the Zappy thing, the guy that I called the scam distributor. So yeah, this is just a bullshit product, and frankly, the Backstar guy should go to prison for shilling these as if they're real. In my opinion, my comment got removed. I'm shocked. Oh my goodness. I'm genuinely at this point, too, the fact that I'm antagonizing them, which I am aware that's what I'm doing. They deserve it. They're scammers, and they should feel bad about what they're doing. I'm bringing the fact that they're hurting people to people, and scammers don't usually like when their scams get shown to people outside of their mark community. So it wouldn't surprise me if at some point they try to take down my channel by, like, doing false copyright strikes or something, even though this clearly falls into the category of fair use. So if any of that happens, I'll let you know. Fenekagami says, thankfully, AFib is the most common form of heart attack, and it mimics your heart stopping unless you have an EKG, so emergency defibrillators pretty reliably save lives, and the movies aren't quite as inaccurate about defibrillators being used as in heart attacks as they are about other stuff, you know, like photo evidence.
Is do a small correction.
So this is the scam scanner I was talking about.
Is just do a small correction.
Basically, you put the headphones on and it says it scans your body, but in reality, these are all generic images of the human body that someone, like, literally stole off the internet and just put them in here. And then I assume they had some programmer, and to be clear, I'm using programmer loosely here. This is like the kind of thing I could have thrown together in my high school programming class. Basically, I imagine this app is a lot of if-then statements, basically taped together based on how it looks. And anyway, I assume there's like a number randomizer in there that determines where all the different, like, numbers are gonna pop up on the scanner. It's a scam. This is a complete scam. It's a scam. This is fraud. This goes beyond scamming. I consider this legal fraud.
Correction on you. So if you press this little tiny funnel right here, we're going to need to know this when you're choosing your protocol. So what I'm doing is just pressing the core product.
Okay.
But say you were doing your correction on someone and they just want to do digestive. A normal
their worst crime? Comic Sans.
Correction, we would do it on all of it and then just do a correction overall. Once you purchase this, though, the protocol is completely separate. This is just for showing you. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it at a higher strength just to kind of show you what kind of results you can get from just one correction.
So the machine...
Okay, this is... Let me copy paste that video. I'm going to need that for later.
Right now is doing the correction on the areas of the body that were not at a good rating.
So what it's doing when you're doing a correction is it's kind of the opposite of a bad apple. What it's doing, and if you're looking at it right now...
Again, this has all the hallmarks of a scam product, by the way. It's, how do I put this? It's got flashing lights. It's doing stuff that it wouldn't really need to do if it was a real product. It's basically doing a bunch of superfluous visuals to give you the impression that it's doing something, when in reality it's not. It's like when scam products from Alibaba or whatever will put like a blinking light on it, because blinking lights means the thing's working.
You can see, you just saw that 6 turn to a 5.
Yeah.
You're seeing it in real time.
I'm seeing the screen say those things, but that's all in this program. None of that has any relation to anything going on with an actual person or patient. This is just a program designed to look like it's doing something. So it's programmed to make some flashy flashes, and then the numbers go down after the flashes. That's it. It's not correlated to anything in reality. It's just a machine that exists to flash lights and make numbers change to make it look like something is happening. This is fraud.
So right now I did it time strength, so it's gonna hit.
Hey Jenny, what's going on? We are covering a group of people that are scamming vulnerable people. They're shitbags. And welcome.
This 10 times instead of just once. Normally I would do just a full correction 1 strength, and that would take probably about 6 minutes, just the same as your scan.
It could take 6 minutes, it could take an hour, it could take 30 seconds, it could be done as soon as you click the button, because it's not doing anything.
So what it's doing is all of the 2s and 3s are poking those 4s and 5s and 6s, and it's telling the cell to look like mimic.
Watch out, 7 might eat 9.
Me. I'm healthy.
I've heard tales.
You should look like me. And it basically pokes it until it changes to a good cell.
It pokes it until it changes into a good cell. That's how medicine works, right? Are there any doctors in chat? Like medical doctors? You just poke cells until they work. That's how that works, right? A lot of medicine, most of medicine is poking at cells. What are we doing here, man?
So that's what it's doing right now.
That's mind-blowing.
But I mean, you can see it in real
It's mind-blowing if you're gullible.
time. You just had a 4 change to a 2.
I just saw 4 change to a 3.
So now.
Whoa! They programmed the numbers to descend. Oh my god, descending numbers. That must mean something.
We'll be able to go in and look at an analysis of your results. And you can see a side-by-side of what changed and what improved.
I didn't know this thing actually did the correction too.
That's the.
We're so doomed. We're so goddamn doomed. Everyone is so fucking stupid. Why is everyone gullible? Why? Think about it for 5 seconds.
That's exactly what this does. The scan is just really a small part of it. Using it is where your seller is, really.
And then all the additional technology like the hyperbaric and the med bed and or the PEMF med bed, all those different things are additional things that will also got it.
So what we always say is that all of our products work alone, but when you do vibration, oxygen, and frequency all in once, it's just heightening the results.
Right.
So when I first used this, I have a really slow thyroid. My 6s, kind of like how you see yours changing, mine didn't do anything. My 6s on my thyroid, my adrenals, they would not move. So what I would do is I would watch it and I'd be like, okay, today my pancreas looks really bad. I would pull the frequency machine in and put it on my pancreas, and the next day when I did my meta correction, I would see that my pancreas looked better. So like there is something with using the frequency machine while you're doing this that is also beneficial, just like seeing a better result with the oxygen.
It's like a combination of everything. It's just everything enhances everything.
Yep. And kind of like how you were explaining the EE systems, what this is in long term doing is it's bringing the energy level up of your vibration of this specific cell. Because say your body energy, your
I also like, by the way, I don't know if anyone else has noticed that the different pages of this, like the anatomy is drawn in completely different art styles sometimes, because clearly they just Googled like, you know, picture of this system, of the respiratory system, picture of the lymphatic system or whatever. And with, like, irrespective of how they were drawn or what the source was, they just grabbed them, so the art style is different, too. You can tell they just stole all of it.
Let's say you don't have any heart issues. The energy level in your cardio system doesn't need it as much as your digestive or your endocrine. So scalar energy kind of just brings up your overall body energy, and then it stops. It doesn't, unless you do it for a long time over time, it's not going to pinpoint exactly where it needs that energy. So unless you're doing scalar energy consistently like this, I mean, it's going to take a while for it to figure out that this cell's at its optimal level. I need to focus on that. It can't differentiate that.
Right.
You know, so this is exactly what you need to pinpoint.
Oh, careful. Almost showed an anatomical wiener. Gotta watch out. The sound waves can't hit the wiener.
Through the headset, I can hear the frequencies coming in through my ears.
I can hear them. Make sure there's no
And
wiener.
you won't always hear them. You will.
Do you think they ever fuck up and accidentally show, like, there's got to be a click button for if the patient is a male or a female? Do you think that they ever accidentally click the wrong one and it, like, scans a guy, like a cis guy, but it has a vagina, or they scan, like, a cis woman, but it's got a penis because they forgot to click the right button? Ooh, 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 ooh. Idea. We get a passing trans woman or man to go to this place and do the scan, and they will assume that that person has, like, the genitals that they appear that they would have based on social standards. And then they do the wrong one, and they go, gotcha, bitch! I don't have a penis, or I do have a penis! Surprise! Penis!
We'll get people that say, well, I don't hear anything. Sometimes you hear the clicking and sometimes you don't.
Okay, this is off screen enough that it's fine.
And there's your overall body.
That's some James Randi shit. That's some James Transdy shit.
And your skeleton.
Oh yeah, or an intersex person would also work, because it probably doesn't have pictures for that.
And that's it. So now, typically what I would do is show you how to run a report, but what I'm going to do, since we're doing it in real time, I'm going to now show you an analysis.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press this analysis button.
You can tell it's doing analysis because they wrote it on the button. So it's real, because they wrote it on the button.
And I'm actually going to, let's see, because normally I don't do it from this way. I'm actually going to go back to your card index so that I can press on, then everything will come up.
Rob says all humans start female. I peaked pretty early in life.
And you can touch any, so this bar, like right now, I want it in ABC order. I'm just gonna touch this bar so I can find your body of woman, or body of woman, body of man. Let me see. Just not. So when you're doing this with customers, your best thing to do is gonna be showing them this analysis. This is what your seller is gonna be, because you're—
Oh, they're training a new employee.
Your best thing to do is going to be showing them this analysis. This is what your seller is going to be, because you're going to show them how the correction is working. And I'm going to double click on this.
This is what your seller is going to be. Scum of the earth, scum of the earth, scum of the earth.
Graph. And this up here, you always want to make sure pathology is chosen so that something's here. If nothing's here, it's probably because it's not chosen. You see how there's nothing? You don't want to get there and be like, where's all the stuff at? So you have to press pathology. And then right now, I'm going to press this analysis plus. And then I'm going to go back up here and choose. So I have to click this box for a body of man. And then I'm going to press filter.
That's interesting that why would it say body of man? Wouldn't it just know? It's just going to scan you, right? So why doesn't it know? Why do you have to click a button? It's almost like the only input going into the machine is stuff you're clicking on here, and the headphones have no bearing on any inputs. Wow.
Filtered, because I only want to compare it to your correction that you just did. Okay, so just after, so this was before.
This was.
I've decided, by the way, I am going to report this to the Attorney General of his state. I'm done. Done with these fuckers.
Before.
If nothing happens because of it, fine. I don't expect it will, if I'm being honest. I'm sure there's other things they got going on, especially these days. But I gotta do something.
See, I don't know why.
I gotta do something more than just make bad jokes on the internet. Something needs to matter. Even if it's just this, something needs to matter.
Yeah, so this is your scan, and then these are your meta corrections. So this isn't the best example because it was already a shape 3 overall. Let's see, and if you press improvement, it's going to pulse anything that was, so you had a couple 2s that were 3s.
Yeah,
Anything
I can
that's
see there's a lot
pulsing.
more yellow on the second one.
But anything that's
The Attorney General of their state, not the United States Attorney General Pam Bondi, who is something.
pulsing is what was improved. And sometimes you'll see no reaction. You won't always have a reaction. You reacted by 13%, which if you're doing this 3 to 5 times a week, it's just going every single day, you're just only going to improve even more. So let me look for a different one that maybe improved even more. Let's see. And it's very user friendly. So like you can touch any of these. Like right now I want to kind of
RFK will probably roll it out. You know what? No, we're not dooming. We're not saying this. I'm reporting this, and something will be done. Even if it won't. I have to tell myself that. How else am I supposed to ever do anything? If I need to lie to myself to be able to do something good, I'm gonna do it.
let's look at your pancreas. Oh yeah, I only did your body. So let's see.
That's a penis. Is it gone? No.
So
I think it's safe to say the pancreas isn't looking too good.
Is that the pancreas? Is it a pancreas? No. Oh no, that's a pancreas. I'm sorry. That's a very phallic pancreas. It's got balls and everything. So that's on me. I'm sorry. I definitely saw that as a wiener. And frankly, I was concerned because that's a lot of 6s. Okay.
Better. That's not a good one either.
When will we see the next installment of the Marcel Freakout? In the next week. I think I'm going to spend some of tomorrow, and I'm going to spend definitely time on Monday editing more of that. So I'm sorry that it took so long, but I've been busy at work. Summer is our really busy time of the year at work, so I've been getting like double the hours I normally do, which isn't a bad thing. It's money, but you know, I just have fewer, or rather less time for this stuff, although I have been able to squeeze it in, which is good. So tomorrow and the next day, I'm going to work on editing it. Like I said, tomorrow I'm not going to do a normal stream. I'm just going to do a patron-only stream. And then on Monday, I have electrolysis, so I'm also not going to stream Monday, but I will work on editing that video. You've been gone too long. Marcel is back. He is, and he's lost his mind again.
So what could be causing the 6s in the stomach? Is that parasites or is that just tissue?
Probably a random number generator between 1 and 6. That's a typical D6 dice roll, so probably some command to do a random number generator. Somehow Marcel returned.
Well, once we run the report, it'll be a lot.
Is it gonna turn out I'm his daughter?
Easier to see what that is.
Fuck.
Okay.
Let's see. Okay, so we're going to
Virginia's AG website as a complaint form for Consumer Protection Office. I'll look into it. Again, I am gonna get on this. I'm sick of these goddamn people.
kind of be back at the beginning. So research.
And this is one of the more blatant ones I've ever seen. Like, this is blatant fraud. This is bad.
Always brings you back to this page. This is called the research page. So right now I'm going to show you how to run a report, which typically I do that before I do anything else.
Okay.
And you always want to run a report that day. If you try to do it the next day, sometimes you've lost the scan stuff. So even if they
Hold on, I'm going to save this so I can include it in my report. Also, if Sean or anyone of his employees looks at this and goes like, oh no, we better take that video down, she's going to use it to report. I already have it recorded. We're literally recording right now, so I have it already. The AG would have to sit through my stupid jokes, but I can edit those out, and I will if I have to, so don't bother removing any of this. I have footage of all of it.
don't need it, go ahead and run it because you'll probably need it later. So you're gonna press analysis, and then analysis again, and then notes, and then advanced. So now here is where we run a report. So up here, it should be the third option, system, topic. And this is a good example because it's new, you haven't done that yet. So I chose that one. And then next, you're gonna press this mega button. And then over here, it should
legitimate things usually call it the mega button.
Always be pathology and microorganisms. So just like that. And then over here, this is the coefficient. It should always be 0.5. And I'm gonna change it right now. For the most part, it stays 0.5, but every now and then it likes to go back to that 0.8. And if you run a report that's all the way to 0.8, it's gonna show way too much. So only today research and group by organ system.
If it's objective information, why would that matter? Why would the inputs here matter?
It should be chosen. And then you press select all organs.
It kind of feels like you're just giving it a seed for the random number generator, if I'm being honest.
I'm going to get rid of the meta correction. Typically, we wouldn't have done that. Okay, so now it's just my meta correction. And I press this little funnel up here to get rid of all of the M's, because you don't want those to show on your scan.
Why not?
So now I'm going to scan. And the longer the scan, so if I did a 45-minute scan, this part would take a couple of minutes.
Okay.
I'd love to see for this software to be broken down and see how those numbers get generated. Oh, same. I bet it'd be hilarious. Like, I'm sure if someone who knew programming opened this up and looked at it, they'd fucking crack up. Because I'm sure it's obvious what it's doing. It doesn't seem like a very complicated program, so you could probably look at it and go immediately like, oh, that's funny. Random.
It shouldn't take too long.
Oh, and then there's that. So of course there is. Don't worry, you can get your own Backstar bioscanner for $11,000. They also charge people at this place to use it. I don't know what they charge for, like, a session, if you even want to call it that with this thing. But you can buy your own for $11,000. Oh ho ho! Hold on, there's a sale. It's $10,995. Even better. What else do we have? Oh wow, they literally just have an entire sitemap of all their pages like it's 1997, and it's in alphabetical order. About anti-aging, 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 bioscan, blog. Cart is just in there randomly because it's a sitemap of every page, so cart is in the C's. Jesus Christ. I wonder if the same person that wrote this website is the same person that wrote the program for the fake scanner. What else do we have?
Flower of life. These are nails in there that looks like think of this as a pattern of rational kind of lines and stuff like that, and this is a pattern of marbles. So this is
oh shit, this guy uses something that looks like the Stark Industries logo. Okay, I can double tap this. Okay, these are separate people. So I can report Sean to the Attorney General, and then the other guy, the Backstar guy, I can send an email to Disney's lawyers and be like, hey, this guy's using a clear copy of the Stark Industries logo to sell scam products, and Disney lawyers will do the rest. Because I did that before with John, when I got him to stop selling those fashy t-shirts with Gaston on them. And hey, let me be clear. Disney's an evil multinational corporation, and I hate them. But I'm not above using them as a cudgel if I need to. So.
Banging on crap up there is crazy.
Wow, this is a terrible video. Just literally staring at the tube and oohing and awing. Maybe cut that statement out when sending to Disney. Obviously! Guys, just for clarity, I don't know if you guys know this. On stream, I am a different person than I am in real life. This is a social context in which I am very silly and sarcastic and constantly shit-posting. I go to work and I'm a normal person. I wear normal clothes. I know when it's appropriate to tell jokes and what jokes to make, usually. You know, I can write a formal email. I know how to be a normal person. I can mask real good. Toreador says, why does Disney shut down fascists using their logos and characters? They don't want any competition. Ayo. Infrared bed system. Is that not just a tanning bed with infrared lights? Okay. Scalar energy tower? What the fuck, man? Scalar energy is that thing that other scam artist uses. Claims to use, I should say. This video has been removed for violating YouTube's terms of service. Oh boy, I wonder what. I bet it was misleading medical claims. Crystal energy spheres. Oh wow, it's even more. It's like the other one, but even more. Oh, is this just a series of pictures? Wow. I don't know if you know this, but a silent video that's a series of pictures didn't need to be a YouTube video. That's funny. Oh, we're over 3 hours already. Holy shit, where does the time go? I really thought we were at like an hour and a half.
Oscillators, and this is basically the control box, and you've got one oscillator here on one side, and then right next to me on the other side I've got another one here. Now this is the larger one. This is going to throw off up to 200,000 hertz.
Maybe it had audio but they muted it to stop it from being taken down. I guess that's fair. They could have.
Of energy.
Link to the site? Sure, here you go. Their site is usamedbeds.com.
Energy you bring.
Where was the thing we were just watching? Wasn't that one? I don't think it was that one.
In the electron.
We were in the middle of that.
And we have this little green unit right here, which you can see. Well, if it's outside, it's not lit up, but you'll see as I get it over here, this thing is brightly lit. So this basically is telling you that you're in here and you're energizing the cells, energizing the body to its cellular level.
What does that say? Roan? I want to know what this little fucking thing he has in his hand is and where he got it. Roan Patak. RAONPOTAK something.
Energizing the cells, energizing the body to its cellular level, getting all the energy in here to get the cells operating at their maximum efficiency. John.
Hey.
How you doing, brother?
Good.
So, so I'm in here. I'm using the machine. Give us a little breakdown on the new technology that's here.
Yeah, so this is a multi-wave oscillator, and some people know the inventor as Lavokovsky out of Russia. but in reality, this is Nikola Tesla technology. People will say, "Oh, Baxter, you don't know what you're talking about. This is Lakowski." It's not. You know, you look at the oldest pictures of Nikola Tesla. The machine he's sitting behind is this machine, as is one of his first machines. When
Right.
It's going like this. So it's really a Tesla technology. Another guy ran with it.
It's Cyrillic. Okay.
It kind of got some notoriety. Same with a lot of these inventors. It all goes back to the guy that kind of created radio and created AC current.
Marconi invented the radio. Do you mean what? Am I crazy? Marconi invented the radio, right? Is he just talking about Tesla working with like radio waves? Am I crazy? Am I stupid?
So these are the technologies that will help increase your millivolts. So right now, as a healthy individual, for the most part,
It's claimed that Marconi stole the radio from Tesla. Is there any backing behind that claim? Because I know he had been stolen from before. Is that true, or is it just a thing that conspiracy theorists say?
my cells are at 70 millivolts.
Okay.
Non-grounded. So non-grounded individual that's healthy is 70 millivolts. I have to say that because there's two different views. But in actuality, when we get older, our millivolts lower. A 70-plus-year-old man's going to run around 35 millivolts, which is about half of a healthy human. And a person with cancer is running about 15 millivolts, really low.
Holy shit, fuck these guys.
So this machine strengthens cells on an individual level. And when you
Notice that the implication here is that this machine can help you with your cancer. Now, to their credit, they're not outright stating that, but the implicit message there is that their system can help you with your cancer.
you use the machine with being consistent, you can start strengthening the entire...
H-Baird says Tesla worked with radio waves as a method of sending power over distance and mentioned that they could also be used to send information. Marconi was working on sending information and I believe sent radio messages first. That makes sense.
Body starts strengthening much more cells, so this is very much like working out.
Agent 00 Soul says Tesla filed his basic radio patent application in 1897, which was granted in 1900. However, Marconi received a patent for the invention of the radio in 1904. Interesting.
The more times you use it, the stronger you get. And if you have a situation like cancer, you know, that jump start, right, for that 10-minute period, you've jumped your cells a lot higher and in essence spun off some of the bad cancerous cells and that type of thing. This machine's extremely powerful, so that's why you can only use it twice a day for up to 10 minutes. We have our smaller technology, little paddles. Those go from 0 to 100 hertz.
Okay.
This particular machine goes from 1,000 hertz to 200,000 hertz.
200,000 hertz. That is off the chart.
Yeah, so if you want to get something instant, this is the machine. You don't have to spend a lot of time. You know, even some of the people here have bought this machine and work here. I've seen everything from better vision to, you know, a lot of amazing situations with this machine.
Right.
So it's still safe, a safe machine. If you're running into issues and you don't have answers to your most difficult problems and you went everywhere, this is a good machine to start with.
Fuck you.
Yeah, and this is
I fucking hate this guy. Ugh, he should be ashamed of himself. And I'm just gonna... No, I'm not gonna say it. That's pseudoscience. Don't say it, Hannah. Fucking hell. Sorry, my brain went pseudoscience for a second. Never mind.
second time I've used it. I really noticed a pickup in my energy, you know, once I got up and started moving around yesterday when I got on it for the first time. And 200,000 hertz, that is really... I don't feel it per se when I'm in here, so it's not like you're... You know, you can feel the energy, and obviously we've got the green test strip, right, that lights up the thing, so you can see that you're in that energy wave.
So what? It just detects electromagnetic fields broadly? Because it seems like a very tiny low voltage LED, which, you know, a lot of things give off slight magnetic fields or electromagnetic fields. Electronics do that, you know? That doesn't mean it's doing anything for you. It's like rhetorical sleight of hand. Look, it lights up. Okay, but what does it lighting up mean? You haven't proven that it actually does anything other than detects an electromagnetic field, which other devices also do. You simply being in an electromagnetic field is not going to heal you in any way.
Or that energy ball, I should say, right? And yesterday, me and Lenny were kind of messing around with it, and we could lift the thing within like still 12 inches up and above and around, are still in that sort of energy ball that's emanating from this particular unit right here. So even though this is the actual unit, you know, it's still, you know, it's still pulling.
Yeah, so you'll see it's probably better on this side because one is more of a...
Yeah.
This is about 4 feet away right there.
Right.
You know, as you go up above it.
But it's like, you're a good 2 to 3 feet above it, and you're still getting a lot of energy coming off of it.
It's not necessarily coming off of it. The room is full of lights and electronics. Again, it clearly lights up with very little input. You could bring this anywhere in most buildings with enough electronics or stuff going on, you might be able to get it to light up. Like, it doesn't even look like he's actually tested this anywhere. He just believes it, or at least claims he believes it.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's super cool. That's super cool. So now, I still have a minute.
I'm gonna be honest, this guy, the Backstar guy, he almost looks annoyed to be around people that believe this shit. Like, he almost seems annoyed to be here.
Is there a timer behind me on the thing?
You've probably got right now, let's look right here. It appears you have 4 minutes left.
I got 4 minutes left. So this is set up on a timer system. So when you turn it on and run it, it's automatically doing the 10 minutes. So you don't have to worry about whether you...
Yep, and it does a buzz. It does a buzz noise to start. He'll red button to start the timer. That will turn the machine on. After 10 minutes, it makes that noise to make sure you turn it off.
Right.
You don't want to leave it constantly running. So after it's done, after the 10 minutes is over...
Why? What'll happen if you leave it running?
It'll make that annoying alarm clock noise. Turn it off at that point.
Yeah.
Or if someone else wants to use it in the line, hit the red button again. It'll turn it back on and give you another 10 minutes.
Right. So super excited. You know I'm here because you got all the new technology now. I need to get in front of it. And if you don't mind, what I'm going to do is I'll shut this down early and get out of the chair, even a minute or two early, because I want to just go over and look at the other one, the smaller version.
Let's do it.
And let's do it right now. Okay.
Yeah.
Thanks.
God, what a scum. All right. So that's another 3 hours of pointing out the scams that these people are perpetrating in the open. In fact, they're basically bragging about it, so that's awesome. Love this country. God bless America. So what did we learn here? People kind of suck, and people are pretty gullible. And making jokes about it might make you feel better, but you should still probably report them, which I'm gonna do. I'll let you know if anything comes of that. I don't necessarily expect it to, but it'll make me feel better. And hey, sometimes that's just what you gotta do, you know? Anyway, so let's see who we're gonna raid. Like I said, tomorrow we're just doing the patron and YouTube member only shows. Let's see who we're gonna raid. Hooker 28 doing. We're doing.
Once it gets
Hey! Look who it is. All right. Well, enjoy Cooker 28's channel. Cooker 28 plays a lot of conspiracy videos and stuff. So. All right. Later, everyone. Have a great night. See you soon if you're a channel member or a Patreon. Other than that, I will see you Tuesday, I believe. See you Tuesday if you're not any of those. Have a great weekend, everyone. See you later.